Here from White House Field in Harwich, Gatemen, losers of 2 in a row, come in to take on the Mariners tonight. Welcome in, everyone. I'm Cameron Stewart. Alongside me is Henrique DeMore. Henrique, tough game, tough day for the Gatemen yesterday, playing about 1.3 games and dropping them both, finishing the protest at Hyannis, and then a nightmare down at Stony Brook Field once again against the Brewster Whitecaps.
Pretty ugly at Stony Brook, like you said, Cam. The Brewster Whitecaps gifted the Gatemen 5 errors. And 4 of those was stellar statistically, but his stuff really wasn't unbelievably fantastic. The Gatemen, they struggled to get runs on the board, but really what killed them was their pitching performance. You know, they got another phenomenal start out of Ace Ryan Garcia, but Easton Lucas, another all-star, really just did not have it today. A lot of free passes given up by the Gatemen pitching staff.
Yeah, and it came in the 6th and 7th innings, Lucas coming in the 6th, and Zach Hart would end up finishing the 7th. And in those 2 innings, the Gatemen gave up 5 unanswered, and what became a 3-0 lead became a 5-3 deficit that they never overcame. Got the tying run on base in the 9th inning, but another one dropped at Brewster. They split the season series 2-2 against the basement-dwelling Brewster Whitecaps. For me and Henrique right now, that's going to be it. We're going to send it over to our host, J.D. Rachi, to begin the Gatemen Pregame Show.
Thank you very much, Cam Stewart and Henrique DeMore. As they mentioned, my name is J.D. Rachi, getting you ready for first pitch in just about 10 minutes or so here from White House Field in Harwich. And let's get you that starting pitching matchup that everybody is salivating over right now. First for the host Harwich Mariners, it'll be Austin Wood, the right-hander out of Stetson, getting the start today. And actually, the last outing he had was against Wareham. He got the loss in the 7-6 walk-off win back at Spillane Field last week. Went 2/3 of an inning, gave up that earned run on the wild pitch that Isaac Collins came in to score on. And really, this has been a season to forget for Wood. 10.00 ERA in 8 games. He's gone just 1 start, 9 innings, 8 hits, 8 strikeouts, and 12 walks. He has really, really struggled. We talked to some people from Harwich earlier in the game. They said his control has really been what's been the issue for him this season on the Cape. He's only coming off his freshman year at Stetson, but it's been hit by pitches, walks, wild pitches. A couple of times he has just airmailed his catcher and drilled the backstop with a pitch on the fly, not even through the dirt and through the wickets of the catcher, but just on the fly. He will have to bring those balls down. He will have to find the strike zone a little bit better if he wants to compete with a really good Wareham offense today. And for the Gatemen, it's going to be a great pitcher on the mound for the Gatemen today. It'll be the right-hander Derek West out of Pitt. Technically, his last appearance was yesterday by technicality only. He actually pitched 1 inning before the protest started back on July 8th, so his stats did not update until yesterday when the game finished. His only other appearance of the season, aside from that 1 scoreless inning against Hyannis, was the Falmouth game a couple of days ago, the 3-0 loss for the Gatemen at Arnie Allen Diamond at Gov Fuller Field. And he was just about the most impressive thing, definitely, I should say, the most impressive thing, probably only positive takeaway from that loss to Falmouth a couple of nights ago. 5 innings scoreless, giving up just 3 hits, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. He will not overpower you with the stuff. He is not going to throw the hardest fastball on the planet, but he's a big guy, 6'5", and he's coming off a couple of injuries. And in our post-game interview, Henrique was the host that day. In our post-game arsenal, change up what you want to do, and he says he's throwing a lot more breaking balls than he normally does, and it has certainly been successful for him this season after pitching just his first year of Division I baseball earlier this year at Pitt. Fantastic start to the season for Derek West. We'll see if he can keep it going on the mound when he gets there in just about 10 minutes or so. But earlier today, you got to catch up with our own Mary Orders.
Thanks, guys. So, Derek, it's your first start for the Gatemen tonight. How are you feeling about it?
I'm feeling really good. It's my first start up here, and just going to go out there and give my best performance.
And you started quite a bit at school. What's the different approach you take coming out of the bullpen versus starting?
Either way, I mean, I got to get a job done, and that's to put up zeros on the scoreboard. So I don't take a different approach. I just go out there and give my team the best chance to win, and I just roll with what I got to do.
And what approach do you take to try to get ahead of batters?
Last game I worked backwards of hitters. I threw a lot of off-speed stuff first. So, I mean, whatever I'm seeing the swings with me and the catcher are seeing where they're standing in the box and how their swings are. If they're sitting fastball, I'm going to work backwards. If they're thinking I'm going to come with an off-speed pitch, I'm going to get ahead with a fastball.
And have you been working on anything in particular with Coach Lawler?
Getting comfortable at the stretch. I mean, I've only thrown strictly at the stretch here, and I'll continue to do so tonight just to get comfortable there, so that way I can bring that asset to when I go back to pit, and you can use that more during the games and be comfortable as a complete pitcher.
And you've had some pretty serious injuries over your career. Could you speak to that a little bit and how they've helped to motivate you or help you move forward?
My first year of college, I had Tommy John surgery on my UCL, my right elbow. It's a very common injury, but then almost 8 months later, I blew out my right knee and had ACL, PCL reconstruction, and that was even a bigger devastating blow, just back-to-back injuries, missing 2 seasons in a row. But it really just motivated me to get better and to get stronger and, just prove everyone that I'm fine. It was a freak thing, and, I'll go out there and I'll be the best guy I can be for whatever organization needs me.
And looking forward into the rest of the summer, what are some of your personal goals?
My personal goals is really to become a complete pitcher. I mean, I'm very new to the pitching. I mean, I started, in high school, late high school, and then missed the first 2 crucial years of college for development. So, being able to play this past season and then being up here under Coach Lawler, I can really, fine-tune my game and become a complete pitcher and what I need to be.
Lastly, what are some of the goals of the team?
The team is to win.
Thanks so much for your time and good luck tonight. Guys, back to you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much to Mary and Derek. As always, Wes back to the mound, as we mentioned, in just about 7 minutes from first pitch here. He won't be the first pitcher we'll see. He'll be the second in the bottom half of the first inning. Austin Wood gets the start for the Harwich Mariners tonight, and this is the lineup he will go against first for the visiting Wareham Gatemen. Sahid Valenzuela leads it off for the first time this season. He plays second base out of Cal State Fullerton. Austin Shenton all the way up to the 2-hole now. He'll play third base out of FIU today. In the 3-hole, it's Jeremy Idens, the left fielder out of UCLA. And cleaning up this afternoon for the Gatemen, Paven Parks, the DH out of Kent State. Jacob Goldfarb, the right fielder out of Oregon, bats fifth. Lyle Lockhart Jr. out of Houston plays first base. First time we'll see him back in the field since he roughed up his arm a little bit the last time he pitched against the Chatham Anglers last week. In the 7-hole, Ryan Kreidler, the shortstop out of UCLA. Luke Roscom getting the start today behind the plate. Of course, that kind of rotation of catchers between he, Drew Millis, and Gian Martellini over the last couple. For Wareham, Sahid Valenzuela at second, Austin Shenton at third, Jeremy Idens in left, Paven Parks the DH, Jacob Goldfarb in right, Lyle Lockhart at first base, Ryan Kreidler at shortstop, Luke Roscom at catcher, and Skylar Hunter in center field. The opposite lineup for the host Harwich Mariners, who come into the game at 14-7. He's followed by Aaron Shunk, the third base all-star out of Georgia. Andre Lipsius, another all-star. First time we'll see him at the shortstop position this season. He is out of Tennessee. Nate Eichhoff got the start in left field the last time these two teams met. Tonight he is at first base, and he is in the 4-hole. Danny Casals, the second baseman out of Maine. He's got the second most. Mason Meadows in the 8-hole tonight, the catcher out of Georgia. And Gabe Rivera, the right fielder out of Miami, at shortstop. Nate Eichhoff in the cleanup hole at first base. Danny Casals at second. Matt Gorski in center. Logan Driscoll at DH. Mason Meadows at catcher. And Gabe Rivera in right field. Should be a good one coming up in just about 4 minutes or so from White House Field in Harwich. We'll take you through the last time and kind of remind you what happened the last time these two teams faced off. It was really Harwich's game the whole entire way through. They led it by 4 headed into the 9th inning. And then bottom of the 9th inning, the Gatemen needed runs. And who else was there but Luke Roscom to come up with a huge bases-clearing double. 3 runs coming in to score to tie the game. Paven Parks, Jeremy Idens, and Ryan Kreidler all coming in to score on the 2-out double from Luke Roscom. An absolutely magnificent hit for them, or for him, I should say. Really broke him out of a bit of a slump. And then later in that game, in the 10th inning, bottom half of the 10th, the Gatemen got through the top of the 10th wonderfully with a couple of really good arms coming out of the bullpen to keep them in the game. And then in the bottom of the 10th inning, Isaac Collins leads it off with a walk. He reaches third base, and Austin Wood, who was the starter tonight, comes into the game and throws a wild pitch, and Isaac Collins runs 90 feet home and walks it off for the Gatemen. That was actually the last win for the Gatemen, was against the Harwich Mariners the other night. Coming off of 2 losses yesterday, so technically only on a 1-game losing streak, though, because the other one retroactively goes all the way back to July 8th. Gatemen trying to snap a semi-2-game all the way one-game losing streak, and Dunstan couldn't have been happy with what he saw last night in Brewster. He got a chance to talk with our Mary Orders before today's game.
Thanks, guys. So, Coach, going back to yesterday afternoon at the protested game, there was almost a protest inside the protest. Can you explain that a little bit?
Yeah, they said that our pitcher, Barron, could not pitch because he was not on the roster when we played that game. And I looked, and nowhere is that written that that's the case. And I've asked for clarification on that because our commissioner was there. And so far, we've got no clarification on it. And my belief is that is because there is none. And if there is, then I'll be the first to admit I was wrong with that. But it just makes, and if it is, it should be changed because our rosters change in this league so much that it was possible for us to play that game and we could add 5 guys to Team USA, 4 guys hurt, and we wouldn't have enough players, so what we have to do is forfeit it. So if that is a rule, it does need to be changed. It doesn't fit this type of league.
Haven Parks ended up taking the mound for you guys. What do you think of his performance?
I did great. Did great for especially coming in with all the, confusion going on. I mean, he came in and got focused right away and gave us a shot. We get a bunt down, and we might have snuck and get that game out of there. But he was great.
What do you think of his development pitching-wise over the past few weeks?
He's done extremely well. He's getting more and more innings in him. We're just going to have to ride him here this last part of the season here because we have some injured arms and some people leaving and stuff. So he represents a good pitcher that can come in and throw some quality innings for us.
And moving to the Brewster game, could you speak about that game a little bit? What do you think?
Well, I mean, we got a great performance out of Garcia, and Lucas just didn't have his great stuff. We made some errors behind him, and they had some seeing eyeballs that we just barely did not catch. That if we did, and the bad hop double play ball that would have got us out of the inning, instead they get 3 runs, and that's part of the game. You don't like it, but that's the way, as they say, the way the ball bounces, and unfortunately. So we're going to take a look at that, and hopefully he can give us a solid performance here. We got to just start trying to crack up some wins here so that you can get in that playoff thing because our division's so tightly bunched, anything can happen.
Lastly, you guys were expecting Bryant Packard to come back, but due to illness, you won't. How is that going to affect the lineup or not getting that boost?
Well, that's a big blow. Big blow. And mainly, not so much his presence on the field, but off the field, too. He's a team leader, quality guy. Players respect him. Plus, he wanted to be back after the Team USA thing. So we feel real bad for him. If there's any way he would have. But when you lose 10, 11, it's the whole team. You don't fill in shoes like that. Guys have to pick up themselves, and each guy's got to contribute in a different way. So there won't be one person that'll be a Packard. It'll be the whole team that's going to have to do what he did for us, and hopefully we can have some guys step up and fill those shoes.
Coach, thanks so much, guys.
Thank you very much to Mary and Don. As always, should be a good one coming up for the Gatemen and the Harwich Mariners. Gatemen trying to win the season series 3-1 against Harwich. And in for the play-by-play, here are our broadcasters today. Cameron Stewart, Henrique DeMore. Take it away, gentlemen.
Thank you very much, JD. We are right about to get started here at White House Field in Harwich. Austin Wood is on the mound. Zahid Valenzuela will bat leadoff for the Gatemen tonight and will stand in from the left-hand side. First pitch from Wood is going to be in there for a called strike as Valenzuela had squared around a bunt but pulls it back. Nonetheless, he's behind in the count 0-1.
And it was after the last Brewster blowout that we saw a major lineup shift that the Gatemen just kind of said, all right, something has to change.
This one's going to be bounced in Wood's direction. He's going towards the line. It will bounce foul.
But sometimes that is what you need, just a fresh look in the lineup. That's what saw Idens move from the top of the lineup to the 4-hole. Isaac Collins originally batting 8, moved up to the 1-hole, and now you see everybody with Collins getting the day off, shifted up 1. So you see Valenzuela batting from the leadoff spot. He's a good contact bat as well, similar player to Isaac Collins, both small, middle infielding switch hitters. They hit the ball hard. They put together good at-bats. So this could be just what the Gatemen need. And honestly, kind of, after getting your butt kicked by Brewster last time, they turned around pretty well. But after getting the butts kicked by Brewster this time, they got to go against a team in Harwich that has a phenomenal pitching staff and took an epic 9th-inning comeback to beat the last time around.
Gatemen scored 4 in the 9th the last time, back on Sunday night. tie the game at 6-6. Won it in the 10th. This one missing outside to Valenzuela for a ball 1-2. And the guy who let in that winning run, the losing pitcher that night, is the man on the mound tonight, Austin Wood. This one's going to be bounced foul past first base. It's his only loss on the year, 0-1 record with an ERA at an even 10. This his 9th appearance, only his 2nd start, and has only pitched 9 innings, but has struck out 8 and has walked 12 during that span. One-two to Valenzuela, up the middle and caught out of the air by Wood. Right next to his knee as he was coming through on his motion, and instinctually picks it off for the first out of the ball game on a hard hit ball by Zahid Valenzuela.
That's tough, but Shenton, a guy who knows how to start things off with 2 outs, often hitting in that 3-hole. Sometimes he'll get that opportunity to bat with the bases empty and 2 outs, and the Gatemen have been able to produce decently with 2 away in innings, and Austin Shenton is a guy that is often the catalyst for starting that off.
So now Austin Shenton, as Enrique mentioned, up in the 2 spot today. Take the first pitch outside for ball 1. 1-0 the count to him. Shenton still the team leader in average, 392 on the year. And he's going to rope this one towards right field, and it's going to drop in for a base hit. So that average is going to go up, and it's the first hit of the ball game and just the second batter for the Gatemen. Austin Shenton is aboard.
Take it any way you can get it. Austin Shenton saw a pitch he liked and did not miss. Like you said, Wood coming off a forgettable outing, and the season altogether has been forgettable for the freshman from Stetson. But now Jeremy Idens, who's been swinging a really hot bat, batting in the 4-hole as of late, moved down there after the most recent lineup shift and has been kind of tasked with being the run producer. He's not traditionally a power bat, but he is one of the few guys in this Gatemen lineup who can put a charge into a ball for extra bases.
Now with a man aboard, Idens takes the first pitch up high for ball 1. Harwich in their old school cream uniforms, a little off-white on the shirts and the pants. And every player out there right now in the starting 9 wearing the red stirrups. Gatemen, of course, in their road blue. They went with the cranberry red 3rd jerseys yesterday. I should say for the nightcap, they wore these blues against Hyannis, with the W on the left breast and red letters, numbers, and this one's going to be taken on the inside corner to Idens. Didn't like the pitch, but it is a called strike 1 to even things up. 1-1, a man on first with 1 out for the Gatemen. This one's a breaking ball that misses outside. So Idens now ahead of the count, 2-1. Had a big game yesterday. 3 hits, half the hits for the Gatemen last night came off the bat of Idens. Drove in a run via an RBI, and then it was him advancing on an error that brought Zahid Valenzuela home as well. This one is a line off the glove of the shortstop, but they're going to say it's on the transfer. Held up just long enough there for Lipsius to make the out. And tried to double up Shenton, but he's back at first. But there's 2 gone now in the first inning.
Couple of hard hit balls up the middle. All you got is 2 outs to show for it. That's painful, but you got to stay within yourself. Trust the swings you've been taking. Eventually, you hit the ball hard, low to the ground. Good things will happen.
Now Paven Parks in the cleanup spot tonight. Was 0 for the doubleheader yesterday, but hit a couple of balls hard. This one's going to bounce in Mason Meadows, blocking it with his red and black Georgia Bulldog chest protector. Counts at 1-0 to Parks.
Yeah, Paven Parks, like you said, Cam, the 2 balls that he hit against Hyannis, they were 30 feet away apiece from being the game-tying and game-winning solo home runs in that game.
He's going to sky this one, foul up and out of play over us. So the count's at 1-1. And with the 0 for yesterday, Paven Parks drops below the Mendoza line at 197 on the year. Still just the 1 homer that he did have in Hyannis earlier in the year, and 10 RBI. One-one. Toom's going to run inside, so he's ahead of the count, 2-1. We saw him at third base at Stony Brook Field in Brewster last night. Had a ball come off his glove, had an errant throw, so today he is the Gatemen's designated hitter, and Austin Shenton moves back to his normal spot at third base, Lyle Lockhart back in the field at first. This one's a nice pitch on the outside corner for a late called strike two, and things even up at 2-2 with 2 outs, and Austin Shenton leading off of first base, got there with a 1-out single. Two to Parks. Cut on and missed. Took a little something off it, did Wood, and that's strike 3. The Gatemen leave one stranded in the first inning. Harwich coming up for the first time here on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Soft as a Grape has 10 retail locations on Cape Cod, so even when you're cheering on your Gatemen at any away games, stop into a Soft as a Grape store for the best Cape Cod products. Stores located in Falmouth, Mashpee, Woods Hole, Hyannis, Chatham, Provincetown, Edgartown, Oak Bluffs, and Vineyard Haven. From beach day to every day, Soft as a Grape has you covered.
Folks, after the game, be sure
The law firm of Lang, Exafaris, and Bullard, providing families and businesses in the greater New Bedford community with legal services for 40 years. We look forward to serving you. For an appointment, call 508-992-1270. We invite you to learn more about the law firm of Lang, Exafaris, and Bullard by visiting our website, lxblaw.com.
Learning at Curry College extends beyond the classroom and is embedded in all that they do. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers and active citizenship with a global perspective. Explore undergraduate majors, minors, and concentrations, including new majors in accounting, biochemistry, and software development, online at www.curry.edu.
Back here at White House Field in Harwich. Bottom of the first inning now. It's the tall, slender right-hander out of the University of Pittsburgh, Derek West, on the mound for the Gatemen. Still has no record and no ERA. This is his third appearance, first start. Has pitched 6 shutout innings this year, struck out 4 and walked 2. His last time out, officially, was at Falmouth in that 3-0 loss on Saturday. Pitched 5 shutout innings, only allowed 3 hits, struck out 3 and walked just 1. So he will get Ben Norman, the Iowa Hawkeye, to start things off for the Mariners. It's been a tough year for him down here on the Cape, only 189 batting average going into today. Not much in the form of power, just 1 homer, 7 RBI. This one is going to be rocketed, though, on the first pitch of the ball game that he sees. And the first one out of the arm of Derek West. It's lined into center field for a base hit.
For a Harwich offense that really doesn't do a ton. They do just enough. It's evidenced by their 14, 17, and 2 record, kind of middling about in the East. 2 points behind Chatham, 5 points ahead of Orleans there, middling in that third spot. They've been helped out by their pitching. They've actually been carried by their pitching. They do just enough, won a lot of games, in low-scoring fashion. But when they get blown out, the offense can't seem to catch up. But Harwich, they get out early. They've got a heck of a pitching staff and a heck of a bullpen that can stifle offenses.
First pitch to Aaron Shunk is going to miss down low for ball 1. Shunk, one of 2 Georgia Bulldogs in the starting lineup for Harwich. The other, their catcher, Mason Meadows, is down batting in the 8th spot. He's going to sky this one up behind us, foul. So as I mentioned in the top half of the inning, Lyle Lockhart is playing first base, Austin Shenton over at third, Ryan Kreidler and Zahid Valenzuela at their normal posts at shortstop and second base respectively. Left to right in the outfield, Jeremy Iden, Skylar Hunter, and Jacob Goldfarb. And Luke Roscom is behind the plate tonight doing the catching for Derek West. This one's going to drop in there for ball 2. West falls behind in the count, 2-1. West to the stretch, 2-1's going to be on the ground. The runner was off with the pitch, so Kreidler will make his only play, and it is to first base. So they get the force there. Advancing up to second is Ben Norman with a little bit of heads-up base running, and the Mariners have a man in scoring position with 1 out in the inning.
So heads-up base running indeed. Not sure if that was the hit and run on, although that's what it looked like. And Aaron Shunk executed, like you said, an all-star third baseman. Can do a lot at the plate. Batting .280, very respectable. Good defensive third baseman as well, and executed there to put a man in scoring position for another feared hitter in Andre Lipsius.
Another SEC guy, Lipsius out of the University of Tennessee, has an RBI opportunity here in just the first inning, but he's going to reach out and ground this one to Kreidler. Throw on the run over to Lockhart at first is well in time. And that man, Ben Norman, cannot advance. He has to stay at second base, and now 2 out in the frame.
And Ryan Kreidler, I want to comment on a good play that he made just now. He went around that one to try to move his momentum more towards first base instead of towards home plate. So he reached out with his left hand, his glove hand, went around it. It took a little bit of a funny hop as it went over the lip, but he kept his eye on it. It was tough because he was fielding it with one hand very much on purpose. He didn't have the other hand to stabilize, couldn't really take it off the chest. Good adjustment at the last minute to record the 6-3 putout.
Left-hander Nate Eichhoff, playing first base today, will now stand in. Takes the first pitch down low and away, 4-1. Time is called, and Kreidler, after making 2 straight putouts, will have a chat with his starting pitcher, Derek West. Eichhoff in a power position first base and in the cleanup hole today, but only 1 homer and 4 RBI in 26 games this year, and an average sitting just at .209. 1-0, breaking ball, catching the outside corner. Looked like the changeup there from Derek West, and gets it over for a called strike 1. 2 outs in the inning. Ben Norman, who got on with a leadoff single, is standing at second base. One. Eichhoff waits on it, and waited maybe a bit too long, as this one is going to be skied foul out of the ballpark here at White House Field. So got a hold of it, but just pulled it too far to the right.
And he put a charge into that one, like you said. Eichhoff, what a result that would have been if it would have stayed fair. 24 strikeouts and 86 at-bats for him, just 4 RBIs. Been a tough year at the plate for Eichhoff.
Looks to correct it here with an RBI opportunity with a man at second, but it is still a 1-2 count to him as he calls for time. Eichhoff is going to slice this one foul off to the left and out of play. So that count stays at 1-2. The Gatemen find themselves in second place today. We're a point up going into yesterday over the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. With 2 Harbor Hawks wins and 2 Gatemen losses, they now find themselves 3 points back.
Doing a little investigative journalism here. The reason that Eichhoff's batting average is so low, because he's actually riding a 6-game hit streak, 3 multi-hit games. He started off the season 0 for 25. Had to wait until late June to get a base knock.
And he's not going to connect on one this time. A swing and a miss. The first strikeout of the game for Derek West, brought to you by the law offices of Lang, Exafaris, and Bullard. And that gets him out of the mini jam there. Leadoff single, man gets to second, but he's stranded there. We've got 1 full in the books, a hit aside, a man stranded for each side. It's 0-0 as we head to the second here on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Beat the heat and join us at Waterways, a water experience unlike any other this side of the bridge. Open daily, head over to the water park on Route 28, the Cranberry Highway.
Folks, after the game, be sure to visit El Mariachi on Main Street for the best Mexican food in Wareham. The cantina provides a delicious late-night snack accompanied by fun cocktails. Since 1950, Morse Insurance has consistently offered the best insurance at competitive rates to generations of clients in southern Massachusetts. If you're frustrated with paying for what essentially feels like just a piece of paper, it's time for you to check out the one-of-a-kind client experience that only Morse Insurance can deliver.
Back here for the second inning. You're in Harwich, 5, 6, 7 due up for the Gatemen. Jacob Goldfarb, Lyle Lockhart, and Ryan Kreidler expected in the inning off of Austin Wood. First pitch to Goldfarb is going to be outside for ball 1. This one going to miss away once again, so 2 outside the zone to Goldfarb, who's ahead of the count 2-0. This one just going to catch the edge of the strike zone. Goldfarb takes it. 2-1 now the count. Everything outside to the Gatemen right fielder. This one is away, so yet to take the bat off his shoulder, and Goldfarb is ahead of the count, 3 balls and a strike. Going to be rocketed into center field. A solid base hit for Jacob Goldfarb to get things started in the second for the Gatemen.
Goldfarb been an on-base machine all year. Has been hitting the ball pretty well since starting his career renaissance, coming over from Katuitt after being cut by them a couple of weeks ago. But it's a hope that, especially if he's starting to bat in this 5 spot, a little bit more of an RBI spot like we alluded to, he starts putting some better contact on the ball. Not that he's had a bad year at the plate with Wareham, by no stretch of the imagination, but need a little more consistent hard contact if that's where he's going to stay, especially now as we're learning that Bryant Packard will not in fact be back to Wareham, a huge blow to the playoff run.
Yeah, the guy who went to Team USA and had told everyone he was coming back and did. He boarded the flight, came to Wareham, contracted an illness over there in Cuba playing for Team USA. It's been a woeful week for him, and that's going to be the end of his baseball summer. Guy who is one of the best hitters the Gatemen had before he departed and was their selection for the Home Run Derby that's going to be played right here on Sunday before the All-Star game, but a lack of pack for the rest of the year. Bryant Packard will not be returning, and this is a guy who's going to have to step up in his place. Lyle Lockhart at the plate takes the first pitch outside for ball 1. And we'll take the second one on the outside corner, not too far off from the first pitch. But this one is a called strike to Lockhart. Count now at 1-1. Breaking ball, going to miss up high, laying off it once again is Lockhart. And now it's 2-1 the count as Wood has been all over the place. 5 of his 8 pitches this inning have been balls. Runners off with the pitch, but Lockhart's going to sky this one foul off to the left and out of play. So Goldfarb will have to retreat, and it's a 2-2 count on the Gatemen first baseman. Wood looks in, comes to the belt. Here's the 2-2. Just off the outside corner. It will miss for ball 3. So a full count now to Lyle Lockhart. This one is going to be taken outside for ball 4. A very late call, and the man gets down to second. It was a close pitch. Lockhart will trot down to first. No throw needed. and the first two men have reached base here in the second.
And Wood, part of the issue for him has been the free passes and the command, like JD talked about on our pregame show. So the Gatemen, now their job is to take advantage of it. They've been doing better about leaving less men on board. Even in the tough game yesterday, lost to Brewster, Wareham only left 7 men on board despite the 8 hits, 3 runs. And normally that kind of score line, in a vacuum is all right, but the fact that Brewster gave up 5 errors as well, that's what makes it sting.
Ryan Kreidler with men at first and second and nobody out, squares around to bunt. The first pitch is going to bounce on its way to home plate. So he's ahead of the count 1-0. Kreidler at .239 on the year, 3 doubles, a homer and 10 RBI for the shortstop out of UCLA. Wood watches Goldfarb at second. Next offering to Kreidler. He's swinging around this time, and he's unable to connect to this one, so it evens the count at 1-1. Woods 1-1. Kreidler going to wait on it and shoot it out to the gap in left center field. This one will get down for a hit. Coming around to score is Goldfarb. Lockhart will hold up at third. A great play out there by Ben Norman, the left fielder, to cut it off and hold Kreidler to just a single. But he brings a run in, and the Gatemen are on the board first.
Ryan Kreidler producing out of the bottom part of the lineup. You love to see that. We saw a little flash of power earlier in the year. I believe it was against Brewster in that 4-1 win at home, if my memory serving me correct. But Kreidler had a little bit of an up and down year, registering 1 for 3s, 1 for 4s. But good to see him come up clutch here. Another guy who's going to, I think, be a big piece going forward. JD and I were talking about this. Has kind of been a thought around the clubhouse, given that he is a big power hitter out of the Midwest in the Big Ten, is Luke Roscom.
The man who was the hero last time these two teams met takes the first one outside, ball 1. He had the bases clearing 3-run double that tied things up in the 4-run 9th inning back at Spillane Field last Sunday night. .1-0. He's going to sky this one foul off to the left, so that evens things up at 1-1. 3 hits today for the Gatemen, and all of them have been hit very hard off of Austin Wood, coming off the bats of Austin Shenton, Jacob Goldfarb, and now Ryan Kreidler, who is caught between first and second, and stepping off the mound is Wood, and Kreidler retreats back to first. Still nobody out in the inning. Gatemen don't want to give up one there on the base paths, even if it would get Lyle Lockhart home, as this one's going to be bounced foul in front of the Gatemen dugout. Now Roscom behind in the count, a ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, no kidding, especially with a guy on third and less than 2 outs, 0 outs, like you said, Cam. Big opportunity for the Gatemen to put up a crooked number and start to put this game out of reach before it even starts.
Chance they never really took a hold of yesterday. 3-0 was the biggest it got, and then 5 unanswered for the Whitecaps finished off that game. This one runs inside. Luke Roscom trying to appeal that it hit him. And he's going to win that appeal.
Wow.
Must have just barely caught the foot. And sometimes it works for you. Luke Roscom will go down to first base, and those bases will be loaded with nobody out. That's going to bring a counteraction here from the Harwich manager. We had a pretty good view at it back here. I didn't see it hit Roscom's foot, but if it did hit that front foot, we probably wouldn't have been able to catch that.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and it was made tougher by the fact that it did bounce and it hit him in the foot. But Roscom, I mean, that the limp and the hop that he took out of the batter's box looked, 1, pretty tough to fake, and 2, usually if it is a fake and, a guy's trying to sell it, you do not get that call from a field umpire. But he said, no, yeah, he did. He was pretty comfortable with that call.
It was a little weird. When he started walking down to first base, the home plate umpire actually asked what he was doing. And usually when you get that question, you aren't going to get first base, but nope. Roscom finds a way this time. So the bases are loaded. The pitching coach is out to talk to Austin Wood, who has struggled this inning. A couple of hits, a walk, and a hit batsman has already brought a run home for the Gatemen. They have him loaded with nobody out. a situation the Brewster Whitecaps had in 2 separate innings yesterday in the 6th and 7th. Now Gatemen will flip that script and get one for themselves. Skylar Hunter is the hitter, number 9 man in the order today and playing center field. Switch hitter batting left as this one will get all the way to the backstop, and the Gatemen will get one the easy way, like the way Austin Wood gave them the game-winning run in the 10th on Sunday night. Lyle Lockhart will trot home and score on the wild pitch. It's 2-0 Wareham.
For such a vaunted pitching staff as Harwich is, the meltdown that they had against the Gatemen was very uncharacteristic, especially against a guy like Freeman, who came into the game with a .87 ERA and just absolutely melted down, like we've discussed almost ad nauseum at this point. But Wood here struggling with the command. Gatemen get 2. 1 via the free, the easy way. Yeah, like you said, Cam.
So now 2 still in scoring position, and this one's going to catch the outside corner for a called strike to Hunter. With nobody out, a lot of ways that Hunter can bring him home. This one going to miss outside. So now ahead of the count is Skylar Hunter, 2-1. As he tries to bring in his 10th RBI of the year, sitting at 9 right now with no homers and 3 doubles. He's also 1 pitch from getting on base with a free pass. He takes that one outside once again. And it's now 3-1 the count. And Wood has not tried to challenge any of these left-handed hitters in the lineup on the inside half. Everything away. And so is this one. And out of the strike zone. And Skylar Hunter will trot down to first base. Second walk of the inning given up by Austin Wood, and the bases are loaded again.
Just never ends. I mean, this isn't quite as bad as what happened to Easton Lucas in that what proved to be a fatal 7th inning yesterday against Brewster. But man, oh man, and you see some arms warming up in the Harwich bullpen. And I imagine, I mean, if Wood can't make quick work of 1, 2, 3 here for the Gatemen, he's going to be gone before this game has even started. Strike 1 comes into Valenzuela.
Valenzuela already 0 for 1 tonight. He lined back to Austin Wood to start off the game. Hard hit ball that he was retired on. 0-1, gonna miss away. Valenzuela holds it to a 1-1 count. One just misses away from the left-hand hitting Valenzuela, if you can believe it, and that's now a 2-1 count to him.
Yeah, you live by the outside pitch, you die by the outside pitch. You've got to locate that incredibly well. And honestly, you mentioned Camo, he hasn't been challenging left-handed hitters as much, and Valenzuela not a left-handed hitter, just a switch hitter. You know, the inside pitches work as a setup pitch. That's what makes guys chase the outside pitches.
This one runs a bit inside, and he will hook it foul down the right field line. Put the count at 2-2. And the Gatemen, because of that, living outside by Austin Wood, they have become a lot more selective. And that's why a lot of those pitches right on the edge have not been taken for strikes, or they have not reached out on many of those today.
No.
That's a big reason why they've got the bases loaded and already up 2-0. This one down in the dirt, cut on and missed by Valenzuela. Bases loaded, so no tag needed. And he is now 0 for 2. And they're still loaded with 1 out, and Austin Shenton will now stand in.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, it seemed like after going, outside to Valenzuela, finally came in with that devastating breaking ball inside. That really was a good pitch from Wood. He hasn't been able to locate that, but really, really good, especially with 2 strikes. You knew Valenzuela would be protecting. He's a contact guy. We've seen him register base knocks on pitches inches out of the zone, but he got the better of him there.
First pitch to Austin Shenton is going to miss down low. He held up the swing. Second base umpire confirms that. And it's a 1-0 count. 2 runs on 3 hits for the Gatemen. Both runs have come in this inning. Shenton has one of those 3 hits, a sharp single back in the first. Outside corner called strike one, even things up. 1 out in the inning. The corner infielders are in. Shortstop Lipsius playing up the middle. One, missing away. 2-1 the count to the Gatemen third baseman. Shenton with the bases loaded, this time up. Is second on the team now on RBI. Jeremy Idens has put himself in the lead in that category with 21. Shenton with 20. This one's going to be skied off to the left, out of play. Two to Shenton on the outside corner, and that will be strike three. The board had already reset, and a very unenthusiastic third strike call, but that rings up Shenton. He strikes out looking, and there's 2 gone in the inning with the bases still loaded.
Yeah, that was peculiar there on Wood's third strikeout of the day. Back-to-back Ks now to get him out of it. He had 1 in the first inning as well, but might have been a little bit of a gimme call just to kind of try to speed this along. But I agree, the scoreboard thing especially was weird. Some presumptuous home field scoring here at White House Field.
First pitch in there for a strike, and couple that with that unenthusiastic call, and you've got me questioning myself 10 times in a matter of a second. 0-1 to Idens, going to be down in the dirt, but he went around on the swing. So he's quickly behind in the count, 0-2 for the team's leading RBI man.
And while 2 is nice in the second inning, the Gatemen, I think, especially leaving them loaded, having second and third with 1 out, even though Hunter did produce a productive AB, this might sting here.
And it sure will, as this one's a swing and a miss by Idens, striking out the last 3 in order. The top 3 hitters in the Gatemen lineup is Austin Wood. And the Gatemen get 2, but they leave them loaded in the second inning. They lead 2-0 here on the Gatemen Baseball Network. And alongside us right now is Ian Becerra, about to talk to our Mary Orders.
Thanks, guys. So, Ian, we were supposed to have Brian Packard come back from Team USA. He's not going to be able to anymore because of illness. Who's going to need to step up? I was talking to Coach Sneddon, and he mentioned that it's going to be very hard to fill his shoes, but who do you think who could step up in his absence?
Yeah, Mary, it's going to be similar to when we lost the Team USA guys the first go-around. You know, something Sneddon said a lot was you can't replace Andrew Vaughn with one guy, so similarly, like you said, you can't replace Brian Packard with one guy. He's a great hitter, 400 hitter this year in college this year. So I don't think one guy's going to be able to replace him, but it's going to be a collective effort. We've seen Isaac Collins fill in very nice out there in the outfield. He's done a great job. Goldfarb today, getting on base again. That's something he's done a great job with since he's arrived in Wareham. So it's just going to have to be a collection of guys and everyone who's in the lineup that day, 1 through 9, hitting the ball.
Now moving to pitching, our rotation's getting a little bit slimmer as well with guys leaving because of pitch count and injury. Who's going to have to step up in that aspect of the game?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think today's starter, Derek West, is going to be one of those guys. And again, like you were saying, you know, especially at this point in the year, guys hitting inning limits, you know, if their arms aren't feeling that great, they're going to be sent home. So it's really just going to be that next man up mentality. And we've seen McGregor Hines get added to the roster, Joey Barron also added to the roster. So these new guys coming in, they're going to be fresher than the arms that the Gatemen already have. So it'll be interesting to see if they can get it done.
Ian, thanks so much for your time. Guys, back to you.
Thank you to Mary and Ian for that report. It's the second inning of work for Derek West, who worked around a leadoff single in the first inning, left that man Ben Norman stranded at second base. Before the Gatemen were able to get 2 and give us the 2-0 scoreline we play with right now. It'll be 5, 6, and 7 for Harwich. Danny Casals will get things started. The second baseman from Maine will get things started against West, and follow behind him Matt Gorski and Logan Driscoll. This one is in there for a called strike at the knees to the Maine Black Bear, and it's an 0-1 count. 0-1's a big looping curveball that falls outside and past Luke Roscom. With no one on base, it's no matter, and the count evens at a ball and a strike. One runs inside on Casals. So he's ahead of the count, 2-1. Second baseman hitting at .219 this year. Couple of homers, 21 RBI. In fact, he is the team leader in that category, like Jeremy Idens with 21 for the Gatemen. Casals 21 for the Mariners. And he takes this one in the dirt, so he's ahead of the count, 3 balls and a strike. With that 3-ball count, it's worth mentioning Casals as he takes one at the knees to run the count full. Casals is second on the team in walks drawn, 15 on the year. Helps the on-base percentage with just a .219 average.
For a nostalgic Cape Cod vacation
3-2. Same spot from Derek West, same result. Called strike, this one strike 3 to Casals. The second in a row for West going back to the first inning. Both of them brought to you by the law offices of Lang, Exafaris, and Bullard, the official strikeout sponsor of the Wareham Gatemen.
Even though West came into, in his first appearance, that game against Falmouth, it was a sort of high-leverage situation, but the Gatemen offense really couldn't do anything, and he was in relief. It is a little bit of a different mindset going into it starting, even though as that one is skied foul, you don't want to change your approach or your mentality. It is a different scenario, and it's easy to put more pressure on yourself if you're starting, I think, or, depending on how you look at it, maybe even relieving. But point being, I've been impressed with how West, even though he's not a high-volume strikeout guy, these back-to-back strikeouts more of an anomaly for the Pitt Panther. Been impressed with how he dug himself out of that 3-0 count as well.
Doesn't have to dig himself out so far, as that one's a called strike, and he is ahead of the count 0-2 against Matt Gorski. He's hitting respectable .288 on the year for Harwich. No homers, though, 6 RBI. Waits on the breaking ball here, and will sky it out to center field. Skylar Hunter is underneath it, and he camps out under it for the second out of the inning.
I think he was expecting fastball on that one. Weak swing, all hands on that one. Weak little fly ball out to Skylar Hunter. Good weak contact induced by West, and that is much more of his bread and butter. He's not an overpowering fastball or breaking ball, but well located, good breaking stuff. And that's what his game is. It's switching up. It's using good pitch sequence. We heard him, pitching backwards to guys, eventually throwing more off speed early and getting them on their toes from the get-go.
First pitch is going to miss down and into Logan Driscoll. Struggled himself, a .207 average, but does have only 2 RBI on the year. Struck out 13 times, and he's going to bounce this one to Zahid Valenzuela, ranging to his left, and will throw it on to first base. A nice running play by the second baseman to end the inning. 3 up and 3 down in that frame for Derek West, and we head to the third inning here from White House Field. 2-0 Gatemen here on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Mezzaluna is a family-run Italian restaurant celebrating 80 years in business. Located on Main Street in Buzzards Bay, Mezzaluna specializes in Italian cuisine, a lunch menu that's the best deal in town, and serves Cape Cod's famous prime rib every Wednesday and Saturday. Come enjoy the feast at Mezzaluna, the Italian family restaurant.
Village Signs of Mattapoisett. They do it all, from logo design, trucks and buildings, to boats. Village Signs has proudly served southern New England for over 35 years. Visit them at villagesigns.inc.com for all your signage needs.
Northeast Maritime Institute's College of Maritime Science is a proud sponsor of the Wareham Gatemen. If you're looking for a career at sea, look to NMI's program of education, adventure, and employment on northeastmaritime.com, America's premier 2-year maritime college.
Almost always. Back here for the third inning. And it's the third inning of work for the struggling Austin Wood, who was already given up 3 Gatemen hits and 2 runs, has left 3 stranded. All those coming in, has left 4 stranded. 3 of those coming in the last inning when the Gatemen left him loaded. It'll be 4, 5, 6 due up in the order, starting with Pavin Parks, followed by Jacob Goldfarb and Lyle Lockhart. So a couple of hard-hitting lefties due up for the Gatemen in this inning. Parks is 0 for 1 today, struck out swinging to end the first inning and left a man aboard in Austin Shenton. First pitch is down low up to the shoe tops of Pavin Parks. So he's ahead of the count 1-0. Wood already about to deliver his 54th pitch of the outing. And it's one that's below the knees of Pavin Parks, but a called strike to him. Wood's 1-1 is going to be bounced foul out in front of the Gatemen dugout down the first base side. So 1-2 the count. If Wood is able to get through this inning, it'll tie his longest outing of the year. Pitched 3 innings back on July 12th at Brewster. And this one's going to be lined but foul down that right field line again from Parks. Count stays at 1-2. Those 3 innings back on July 12th, his only start of the year against the Whitecaps. A game the Mariners won 7-5, but of course not getting a decision was Austin Wood. And he decides to get his second strikeout of the day on Pavin Parks as the breaking ball is down in the dirt. A cut on and a miss. And Parks is the first victim here in the third inning. The 5th strikeout of the outing for Wood, including 4 in a row, going back to the second. Jacob Goldfarb, not one of those victims. In fact, he's one of the 3 hits that the Gatemen have today. A sharp single to get things started last inning. Came around to score. This one's going to be on the outside corner for a called strike 1. Goldfarb out in front of this pitch. It's a breaking ball and a good one from Wood, and he's quickly down in the count 0-2. Hitting just 154 on the year, split between the Cotuit Kettleers and the Wareham Gatemen. 0-2 is on the outside corner. He held up the swing, but it's a called strike 3. Make that 5 in a row for Austin Wood, 6 on the night. Lyle Lockhart will now stand in. Switch hitter will bat left. Got on with a walk his last time to the plate. So still no official at-bat tonight for the first baseman out of Houston. First offering to him is down in the dirt. Lockhart holds up on it. So he's ahead of the count 1-0. Shortstop Ryan Kreidler waits on deck for the Gatemen. Lockhart, big swing but weak contact as it's bounced foul behind the catcher Meadows. That puts the count at a ball and a strike to him. Lockhart trying to raise that .215 average, 1 homer and 9 RBI on the year. That 1-round tripper coming at Red Wilson Field against the YD Red Sox in the victorious game of the doubleheader back on July 1st. This one is going to be taken on the outside corner for a called strike. And Wood is 1 strike away from striking out the side in order in back-to-back innings. That's exactly what he does. Freezes him on the outside corner. Lockhart goes down looking. 6 in a row for Austin Wood by way of the K. 7 in total. It's the middle of the third inning here. We'll take a quick break. before we send it over to our host, J.D. Rachi, for tonight's look around the league.
Legacy Insurance Agency at 213 Main Street here in Wareham can offer you coverage for all your insurance needs. We have the bundle discounts, the accident forgiveness, the vanishing deductible, no loss, etc. But unlike those other gimmick companies, we can quote you with multiple carriers. So forget the lizard and the price tool and come talk to a professional. We'll help you find what's right for you.
Two to nothing, the Gatemen lead over the Harwich Mariners from White House Field, but all 8 other teams are also in action tonight, so let's take a quick look around the Cape League. Furthest game along right now has the Katuiket Lears out in front of the Hyannis Harbor Hawks 7-2 in the top of the 8th at Lowell Park. Garrett Wolforth is 1 for 3 with a run and 2 RBIs for the host Cats. Out in Yarmouth, the YD Red Sox hold a 4-2 lead over the Bourne Braves in the bottom of the 6th. Bourne beat YD yesterday, but Johnny DeLuca's 2-hit, 2 RBI day has the Red Sox out in front this evening. Meanwhile, in Brewster, Spencer Torkelson is back for the Chatham Anglers, and he's back in a big way in RBI today in a 12-3 lead for the Anglers over the Whitecaps. And out at Arnie Allen Diamond at Gov Buller Field, a 5-2 lead for the surging Falmouth Commodores over the Orleans Firebirds. 2-0 here at White House Field in Harwich. Back for the play-by-play, here's Cameron Stewart.
Thank you, JD. Great job as always looking around a full slate on the Cape League tonight. 2-0 our score here as the first pitch is swung on and fouled straight back by the catcher Mason Meadows. Still getting his first look at Derek West today as it's 8-9-1 due up in the Harwich order. Breaking ball on the outside corner. Good snap there from West and gets the called strike 2. So Austin Wood heating up on the other side, but West, through 2 innings, has struck out 2 and has only allowed 1 hit and no runs to come across. Did I say 2 strikeouts? Let's make that 3. Cut on and missed by Mason Meadows. It's brought to you by the law offices of Lang, Exifaris, and Board, the official strikeout sponsor of the Wareham Gatemen. West sets him down easily on 3 pitches. And now Gabe Rivera will come up, the Miami Hurricane, with a long Miami green sleeve on his right arm. Batting 9th today. We'll take this one outside, bouncing to the plate and all the way to the backstop. So he's ahead of the count 1-0. Going to miss up above the letters on the cream home Harwich uniform. 2-0 is now the count to him. 2-0 pounded in there for a called strike to Rivera, who is hitting just 176 on the year. No homers, 4 RBI. Struck out 27 times and has only drawn 2 walks. But he's 1 pitch away from the ladder as this one is going to miss up high. It's now a 3-1 count to him with 1 out and nobody aboard. 3-1 cut on and missed. Good pitch there from West to bring things back full, 3-2. West brings the glove up, 3-2. Just misses about knee-high to Gabe Rivera. And he draws his 3rd walk of the year. And a pitch that West feels he needs to have throughout this game. Doesn't get it this time. And he walks the number 9 man. Rivera at first base, flip it back up to the top. Ben Norman, the left fielder, will now come on. He's already 1 for 1 today. Sharp single to lead off the game for the Mariners offensively. He would end up being stranded at second base. First pitch is another curveball that apparently is just going to miss. Same spot, basically. This time to the left-handed hitter. But it is still a ball, so 1-0. Some action in the Harwich bullpen. This one's on the outside corner for a called strike. It's Tanner Morris, who is normally a position player, listed as an infielder out of the University of Virginia, who is the right-hander warming up in the Harwich bullpen. This one, same spot, outside corner, same result, a called strike 2. And it's now 1-2 to Norman with 1 out in the inning. The 1-2, waiting on it is Norman. He's going to loop it out to left field, but landing under it is Jeremy Idens. He stays there and will make the catch for out number 2. And that man, Gabe Rivera, is still stranded at first base, and it's up to Aaron Shunk to bring him in. He will stand in from the right side, playing third base today. He's already 0 for 1, grounded out to Ryan Kreidler at shortstop. His first trip to the plate. This one's going to get dirty. It bounces up to Luke Roscom. He pads it down and keeps Rivera over there at first base. But it's a 1-0 count now. Shunk at 283 on the year. No homers, but 14 runs driven in. Runner starts, then stops, and a cut on and a miss by Shunk evens things at a ball and a strike. Shadows starting to encompass all but a little bit of right and center field. No wind to speak of. Here in a beautiful night from Harwich. This one's a breaking ball, a changeup that is going to miss down low. Puts Shunk ahead of the count 2-1. No lights on yet here at White House Field, which will host the league's All-Star game this coming Sunday. 6 Gatemen will be represented in that one, including 3 starters. This one misses outside, so Shunk further ahead of the count, 3 balls and a strike. (3-1) to Shunk. It's going to be fouled straight behind us and out of play. Another full count in this inning for Derek West. Tries to get out of the frame right now with Rivera at first. A 3-2 count with 2 outs. (3-2) going to be fouled back behind us, same spot. Out behind home plate, slightly towards the first base side. That count will stay at 3-2. West full count offering again. Going to be fouled straight back to the screen, so a good at-bat being put up here by Shunk. Stays alive. Here in the 3rd inning, it's about to be the 43rd pitch of the night from Derek West. Payoff pitch, going to be cut on and missed, but it's going to get all the way to the backstop. And stopping at second is Gabe Rivera, and reaching on what would have been the inning-ending strikeout is Aaron Shunk. Anything comes in now is unearned against Derek West. With 2 outs, they got a couple of men aboard. Andre Lipsius, the guy the Mariners want up right now. With the tying run at first base, still early in this game, bottom of the third. Right-hander out of the University of Tennessee. Is second on the team in RBI with 19, but a feeble swing and a breaking ball puts him down in the count 0-1. So that is still a strikeout brought to you by the law offices of Lang, Exifaris, and Bullard. But reaching on at first base is Aaron Schunk. Gabe Rivera at second, 2 out in the frame. Is this one going to miss inside to the right-handed hitting Lipsius? The count's at 1-1. Bounced on the ground, foul to the left. And right to the Mariner bullpen, where Tanner Morris continues to warm. West looks in, comes to the stretch, the 1-2. Cut on and miss, strike 3. So West adds another one for good measure on the 4th out of the inning. That's brought to you by the law offices of Lang, Exifaris, and Bullard, the official strikeout sponsor of the Wareham Gatemen. To the 4th inning we go, still 2-0 Wareham here on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Legacy Insurance Agency at 213 Main
Located in Wareham Crossing, Coastal Orthodontics, longtime sponsor of the Wareham Gatemen, knows the importance of a healthy smile. Dr. Kevin Oliveira and his team at Coastal Orthodontics are a patient-focused practice, delivering professional, effective orthodontic treatment based on the individual clinical needs of each patient, resulting in beautiful smiles in a timely manner. With 10 years of experience using Invisalign, Coastal Orthodontics uses the most up-to-date dental equipment. Wareham House of Pizza has been serving Wareham and Marion for over 40 years with steak and cheese, pizza, and subs. Located in Shaw's Plaza, head on over for pickup or let them deliver to you. At the intersection of Route 195 and 28, Wareham Crossing, home of Lowe's, Target, and Red Robin, is the sponsor of the Gatemen Intern Program. They help to provide a world-class internship experience in broadcasting, marketing, sports management, and baseball operations. Check out Wareham Crossing's schedule for this year's Summer Movie Night Series.
Ryan Kreidler will lead things off here in the 4th inning. Shortstop for the Gatemen. There's a switch for his counterpart. Tanner Morris, who was warming up in the bullpen, has now come into the game at shortstop for the Mariners, where Andre Lipsius was. This one is going to be taken down low by Kreidler for ball 1. 2-0 our score here on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Alongside me, Henrique DeMora, I'm Cameron Stewart. 1-0 to Kreidler, is going to be down low once again. So he's out of the count, 2 balls and no strikes. Kreidler singled his last time up. Drove in a run along with it in the 2nd inning. Put the Gatemen up 1-0. Breaking ball is going to be up high, but in there for a called strike to Kreidler. 2-1 the new count.
Actually, we're seeing more another defensive substitution.
This one going to be taken low again, and they're actually going to say that he went around on it. Thought Kreidler had checked his swing, but instead that puts the count at 2-2.
Actually, we're going to see more than one defensive substitution here. Ben Norman moving to center field. Andre Lipsius not out of the game, but moving to first base. And Nate Eichhoff moving to left. So Gabe Rivera at the end of that chain, he is out of the game, actually. Or excuse me, Matt Gorski. My apologies.
Late time called there by Kreidler as he stands in ahead of the 2-2. Lipsius we have seen at first base in the other starts against the Gatemen this year. So that's more of a normal position for him, you'd think. This one bounces in and runs the count full, 3-2. Full count offering is going to be outside, and they're going to ring him up on the check swing. It's the home plate umpire, no appeal. And that is yet another strikeout by Austin Wood. 7 in a row, 8 on the day.
I'm not sure where this came from. Wood coming into the game today with a 10 ERA. And more walks than strikeouts. In coming into today, 11 walks to 8 strikeouts. No, 11 walks to 16 strikeouts. He's turned it around in a major, major way.
3 1/3, so he has only made 10 outs. 8 of them have come via the strikeout. It's the first pitch Luke Roscom is well ahead of and will line it foul hard down the right field line for strike 1. So since the bases were loaded with nobody out in the second inning, the Gatemen had already pushed across 2. Each man that has come up for Wareham since then, from Sahid Valenzuela all the way down to the 7th spot, and Ryan Kreidler has struck out against Austin Wood. 1-1 the count to Roscom, who looks to change that trend. Takes one up and away to get ahead of the count, 2 balls and a strike.
And Wood has already surpassed his season high, entering his 4th inning of work here.
Cut on and missed. A changeup gets Luke Roscom to bite. Count now at 2-2.
But the changeup, the fastball, and the breaking ball all working here for Wood. He's kept everything below the belt, which has been huge for his success.
2-2 is going to run behind Luke Roscom. No sell of a hit batsman this time. And we'll put the count at a full 1. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
And Roscom quick to scurry out of that left-handed batter's box. He was not about to get drilled in the foot again. Roscom hit by pitch, like I said, in his last plate appearance. That's all he has done. Just 3 hits for the Gatemen so far today. Do something here with 1 out in the 4th, excuse me.
3-2, gonna miss down low, so that strikeout streak will end right there, as Luke Roscom will trot down to first base with a 1-out walk ahead of Skylar Hunter.
And the 7 strikeouts in a row before this, while they have been impressive, even more impressive is the fact that every out he's recorded since Jeremy Idens lined out to then Andre Lipsius at shortstop has been recorded via the strikeout.
And that was for the 2nd out of the 1st inning, as this one misses low and away to Skylar Hunter for ball 1. He got on base via ball 4 his last time to the plate. Back in the 2nd inning, walked to load the bases before the top 3 guys in the Gatemen order all went down swinging and started that streak. That was just ended by Luke Roscom. Another one outside puts Hunter ahead of the count, 2-0. To Hunter is going to be bounced over the mound. It's going to be a tough play for the new shortstop, Tanner Morrison. He's got no play. Has to charge in on it and will put it in his back pocket. So reaching at first base is Skylar Hunter with a single that looks like a line drive in the box score tomorrow. But now 2 men on for the Gatemen and only 1 man out.
Now over to the 6th spot, like you said, and Morris was his first opportunity he got in the field. No disrespect to him, he played shortstop all day the last time these 2 teams met over at Spillane Field in that leadoff spot. But with Skylar Hunter's speed and just the way that was hit, even if Morris fielded that perfectly, he was not going to get the speedy Skylar Hunter. So now 2 on 1 out here for Valenzuela.
Some more action going on down in that Harwich bullpen. This time in everyday pitchers warming up. Cal Kruger out of Indiana as the first pitch is taken outside of Valenzuela. It was already 0 for 2 today as we're only in the 4th inning. Lined out to Wood to start off the game and then a swinging strikeout in the 2nd. 1-0. This one misses outside once again. 2-0 to the Gatemen second baseman. Valenzuela Although he's been a bit cold recently, still at .317 on the year, 2 homers, 14 RBI. Going to reach out for this one and bounce it foul off to the first base side to put the count at 2-1. Luke Roscom at second, Skylar Hunter at first. 1 out in the top half of the 4th inning. Gatemen looking to extend a 2-0 lead. This one's going to be waited on and skied foul off to the left. Valenzuela now has the count at 2-2. Two, wasted off to the left once again. That's where the count stays.
Valenzuela has put together good at-bat after good at-bat to ride his .317 average now, which is lower than it's been all year, kind of leveling out to still a very good average, obviously, and an all-star starter this year for the West Division as well.
Although the scoreboard has reset here at White House Field, it is another 2-2 offering, and it will miss just outside, a pitch that Austin Wood and maybe more so Mason Meadows wanted behind home plate. Held it there for an extra second or two. That runs the count full with 1 out in the inning. Payoff pitch, slow breaking ball. Valenzuela looked like he was sitting dead red there, a bit out in front of it, and will foul it off once again.
It's been interesting to see, too, the nature of the at-bats. It's been kind of Jekyll and Hyde for Wood. The at-bats where it has been singles, walks, hit by pitches have been much longer, and the Gatemen have been a little more patient. But the fact of the matter is, even if the Gatemen are watching pitches go by, still half the strikeouts of Wood's 8 today have been looking out of the hand of Wood as Sahid Valenzuela fouls another one off. So it's been interesting to see the at-bats have just been a lot shorter, and Wood has looked a lot more confident in the at-bats where he's registered the strikeouts. But since that 7th straight and 8th strikeout of the day for Wood, the base knock and the single, and now another lengthy, and I mean lengthy at-bat here from Valenzuela.
A serious battle from Sahid Valenzuela going on right now, with a couple of men on base, runners at first and second. 3-2 once again. Valenzuela will come away victorious in this battle. As it's up and away, he'll walk down with a 1-out walk, second issued of the inning, and 4th overall for Austin Wood to go along with those 8 strikeouts. Austin Shenton will now stand in. And it's not too surprising that Wood has gone on a strikeout streak like this for baseball historians. His birthday, Henrique, May 6th, 1998. And I know the Cubs fans on the broadcast will know that date well. That was when Kerry Wood struck out 20 batters back 20 years ago.
A very good memory there, Cam. I'm impressed. I knew it was in 98, but I didn't know it was on that day.
It's my dad's birthday.
Ah, well, yeah, that'll do it.
Same as Willie Mays as well. And in 2004, the series finale of Friends. But that's a story for another day. The infield is way in.
A much sadder occasion.
And the infield will come in even further, as now they'll have a meeting on the mound ahead of Austin Shenton coming in with the bases loaded.
Gatemen with another big opportunity here. The last time they had him loaded, they had no outs in the second and could not convert. Now, they pushed 2 across beforehand, so it didn't really matter. But Gatemen with another big opportunity here to try to put this game out of reach and not leave it in the hands of their bullpen, which has been shaky at best as of late.
And this seems to be a time-killing tactic. Home plate umpire going to come out and try and break up this powwow that's going on. Of course, one of the most dangerous hitters in the Gatemen lineup coming up, Austin Shenton. As I mentioned earlier, 20 RBIs, second best on the team. Man behind him is the only one ahead of him in that category, Jeremy Idens. And now we are going to get the signal, and we will have a pitching change here from White House Field in Harwich. We'll give you that new Mariners pitcher when we come back here on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Founded in 1854, the Wareham cranberry grower and private property owner in eastern Massachusetts. The company supports organizations like the Wareham Gatemen and projects like the outdoor cranberry bog classroom that you may have passed on your way in. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more. Shop from home year-round on Gatemen.org. You can customize your Gatemen gear from any device, anywhere. We offer a large selection of apparel and unique gifts 24/7, 365. Hard to find sizes, colors, and styles. Youth Clinic registration is also available. Visit us today and remember us for holiday gifts at Gatemen.org.
Stop by the Ansel S. Gurney House, where you will find a unique shopping and dining experience. Whether shopping for a special occasion or just to treat yourself, you'll find what you're looking for in one of the 11 themed rooms. There's also a cafe serving fresh homemade lunches overlooking the extensive gardens. The Ansel S. Gurney House is located at 403 County Road in Marion.
Back here in Harwich, bases are loaded with only one out for the Gatemen. And we do have a pitching change. New man on the mound is the right-hander Cal Kruger from the University of Indiana. No ERA, no record on the year in his 3 appearances. He pitched 3 1/3 shutout innings, has struck out 2, and has walked just 1. Last appeared back on June 17th in a game at Falmouth, where he went a scoreless inning, walked 1. But a long time in between appearances, a guy they have re-signed from the wood capital of the world, Henrique DeMore, Jasper, Indiana.
And like you said, at IU, didn't have to travel too far to play his college ball. And one of his 3 appearances was against Wareham. Pitched a third of an inning in the win that ended up being the walk-off variety. Second game of the year for the Gatemen. Third of an inning, gave up a hit. But his numbers at Indiana, impressive. Out of the bullpen, exclusively, 27 appearances, none of them starts this year at IU. 3.02 ERA, 49 strikeouts, 44 innings of work, 14 walks as well.
First pitch to Shenton is going to be bounced up the middle off the glove of Tanner Morris. So Roscom's already in to score. Now Skylar Hunter will come around to score, standing up. And it's a 2-run single for Austin Shenton. It is now 4-0 Gatemen.
Taking advantage of that, like you said, went up the middle. Morris got a glove on it, but Mike Mobb saw immediately as that one sailed into center field, but because it hit off the glove of Morris, it was a little dribbler, so Ben Norman had to come screaming in on it. Gave a little more time for Roscom. Of course, he scored easily, but Mike Mobb's over at third saying, go, go, go. Skylar Hunter in to score pretty easily as well. 4-0 Gatemen here.
First pitch going to miss down low to Jeremy Idens. My apologies. I knew I was going to speak too quickly on that one. It's going to go down as an error on Tanner Morris instead of a single for Austin Shenton, but nonetheless 2 runs home. Idens going to foul this one off. I think it might have caught a bit of himself to even the count at 1-1. Henrique, you ever seen the movie Hoosiers?
I have not, no.
Oof.
Good
That's
one?
one you got to see.
Yeah? Give me the spark notes.
Oh, well, it's about a high school basketball team in Indiana.
Okay.
Real David Goliath story, if you can believe that, in a sports movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Revolutionary.
Yeah. And Jasper is one of the towns mentioned in it.
Huh? Well,
down in southwestern Indiana. This one's going to be skied out to right field. More pressing matters here as it's going to be bounced in front of the new right fielder for a base hit. And coming in to score is Valenzuela. Stopping at third is Austin Shenton. Gatemen add on to the lead, the 3rd run of the inning. It's now 5-0.
And that one a bona fide single, pushing Idens to 1 for 3 on the day, bringing in the 5th Gateman run of the day. And this is what you wanted to see out of a bases loaded, less than 2 out situation. And now a little bit of lower leverage to see if Pavin Parks can bust out of a slump here. Like you said, batting below that Mendoza line. A $190 on the year now after the 0 for 2 today. But put a charge into a couple against Hyannis.
Still with only 1 out, takes the first pitch on the outside corner for a called strike. And to finish up my thoughts, Enrique, on Jasper, Indiana, there is a major leaguer, former All-Star from there. That'd be Scott Rowland, former third baseman for the Angels and the Cardinals. This one's going to be cut on a miss, and a pitch well down low, breaking ball from Kruger to make the count 0-2.
It's your favorite game. Notable people from the hometowns.
And it almost exclusively comes down to guys coming out of the bullpen for the opposing team because we have it up on point streak and we have where they're from. And I see Jasper, Indiana today, and my Hoosiers comes out as this one's going to be bounced to the second baseman. A wicked hop. It's over Casal's glove and into right field. Parks is pushing for second. He'll get there. Idens to third and Shenton home. 6-0 Gatemen. They just keep adding on.
That one really unlucky. Like you said, a vicious hop off the lip in front of second base there. Casals had it played perfectly. He had to come in on it, otherwise he wouldn't have gotten Parks at first, but it bounced over his head. And that one wasn't even chopped. I mean, the first couple bounces were neck high at best, but it hit the lip at a perfect or imperfect angle, depending on how you're looking at it here. That'll get over his head. I can't imagine they would score that in error on Norman. I think that's a base knock, unfortunately. Parks moves to 1 for 3 on the day if that stands.
So that will have to go as a straight double and an RBI for Pavin Parks, as this one's going to be bounced to Kruger, who has a man caught between second and third. Parks, and now the throw back is behind him, and Parks is going to slide in there safely. Nothing is going right for the Mariners right now.
Yeah, that was, I don't know about that decision from Kruger. I mean, you got to make a decision. I think you get over to first, even if you've got him hosed in a rundown right there, you got to run at him maybe first, try to get him back. But especially with outs coming at a premium here, I mean, you're already down 5-0, even though the infield, it's only the corner infield that's in. The rest of the infield is back. They're willing to surrender that out. You got to go to first on that one.
So I think you got to score that a hit, as Kruger could not get the man he was staring down. Seemed a bit tailor-made. You knew he had to go back to second, as Shenton was only a couple feet off of third, Jeremy Idens only a couple feet off of third. This one's taken in there for a strike to Lyle Lockhart to make the count 0-1. Sliced foul off to the left, out of play. Bases loaded once again. Corner infielders in. Still only 1 out in the inning. This one down low. It's blocked by Meadows. So Idens at third, Parks at second. Now Jacob Goldfarb at first. Lockhart standing in now. The Gatemen have sent all 9 men to the plate in this 4th inning. Ryan Kreidler, the man on deck, started the inning. This one's going to be sliced off foul once again. Kreidler struck out to start this frame against the starter, Austin Wood. That is still the only out of the inning, as Kruger is yet to retire a man, and all his inherited runners have scored. Going to be bounced foul. Staying in there is Lyle Lockhart at 1-2. 0 for 1 today. Walk back in the second, but a looking strikeout in the third. So he has a plate appearance in now 3 straight innings. Like Jacob Goldfarb before him. 1-2 again. Fouled off once again. Now, Henrique, people will say what they will about talking about the pitchers' hometowns, but I remember right now bringing up 3 straight facts about Jasper, Indiana, and then 3 straight run scoring for the Gatemen on all 3 of those.
So here's where Wikipedia just becomes all the more valuable.
So great. I don't know who decided that wasn't reputable. This one's outside to make the count now 2-2. I'd like to have a talk with them. Saved me on more than one occasion. The least of which being broadcasting a baseball game.
Yeah, no, I will speak to that. Absolutely.
2-2 the count, 1 out. And if you guessed foul ball, you're going to win on this at-bat more times than not. And it's off to the left. To keep that count right there. Again, Ryan Kreidler on deck. Having a conversation with a couple young fans here at White House Field.
The pitch count just going up and up and up for Kruger. 16 pitches thrown. And a monster at-bat put together by Lockhart here. He's the 9th man to come to the plate in this inning. Kreidler started it off, which in what seems like so long ago was the first guy that starter Austin Wood faced in the inning.
It's going to be pitch number 17 from Kruger. Do I even need to say it's foul at this point?
Nah, I think you just guess. Right,
no
you
news
would be right, yeah.
is foul ball. But anyway, that's the 100th pitch of the night from Harwich pitching. 83 was the final total on Austin Wood.
And 10 coming up here to Lockhart.
He has accounted for 1/10 of the pitches in this one at bat.
Wow.
That's some quick math. That's
easy.
That's
quick math.
That's easy
right
stuff.
There. Yeah.
2-2. If you couldn't guess, that's another foul ball from Lyle Lockhart.
No matter the outcome of this at-bat, Lyle Lockhart Jr. will have done his job at the plate. I feel like no matter what you do, if you stretch out at least a 7-pitch at-bat, no matter what you do, in a vacuum, that is a fantastic at-bat. And Lockhart doing more than enough here. Still with less than 2 outs, bases loaded. Gatemen have plenty of opportunities here to keep adding on to a 6-0 lead.
12th pitch of the at-bat. On the outside corner, home plate umpires had enough of seeing Lyle Lockhart out there. He rings him up on a borderline pitch for out number 2.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. I'm all for keeping the game moving, especially with a 6-0 lead, I guess. I understand his decision, but it was a very good frame by Mason Meadows. I think that's where I'm going to leave that.
So now Ryan Kreidler, who's already accounted for an out this inning. You don't want to be the guy that makes 2 of them in an inning where they have batted around already. He has the bases loaded with 2 down in the frame. First pitch swinging, cut on and a miss from the Gatemen shortstop. He's down in the count 0-1. This one's going to be bounce foul in front of the Harwich dugout. So it's a game that was moving quickly through the first 3. But it's become customary with the Wareham Gatemen. They push across 4 to keep this thing rolling along like a freight train instead of an Amtrak. 0-2 is the count on Kreidler with 2 gone in the 4th inning. This one is on the outside corner as well. Ring up Ryan Kreidler for his 2nd strikeout of the inning. The Gatemen leave him loaded, but push across 4 and extend that lead from 2-0 to 6-0 here on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Make sure you sign your child up today for the Gatemen Robertson's GMC Youth Clinics. This year we have 5 one-week sessions for children 5 to 14. We also have 2 special sessions for hitting and pitching open to teens. Registration is available online at gatemen.org or through forms available at the merchandise booth.
For a nostalgic Cape Cod vacation experience, head to Bay Motor Inn, where guests are treated like family. Located in the heart of Buzzards Bay Village, this 1950-style cottage colony still provides you with up-to-date amenities. The Gatemen thank the Bay Motor Inn for their support.
Located along the Cape Cod Canal, Keystone Place at Buzzards Bay is the area's newest rental independent living, assisted living, and memory care community. With some of the area's largest apartments and an ultra-inclusive monthly service package, Keystone Place is a life-fulfilling retirement community unlike any other. Distinct assisted living and memory care programs provide personal care services according to each individual's needs. Discover Keystone Place, the best option for meeting the care and support needs of seniors on Cape Cod.
We head to the bottom of the fourth inning. Nate Eichhoff will get things started against Derek West and line the first pitch down the right field line and in for a base hit. Could be extra bases. Eichhoff stumbling around first base, loses the helmet, may have pulled a hammy, but he'll walk into second with a stand-up double to start things off in the fourth.
Yeah, got a hold of that one. Mariners not going down without a fight, come out with a vengeance against West here. West obviously with a much lower pitch count, very respectable 50, or 47 to be exact, through 3 here. But a nice cushy lead for the Gatemen starter right now. We're joined by a special guest here, aren't we, Cam?
Yeah, that first pitch double kind of delays our introduction, but joining us now for the bottom of the fourth inning, the Gatemen Swiss Army knife of sorts, Isaac Collins. Isaac, how are you?
I'm great. How are you guys doing tonight?
We're doing pretty well. Isaac, a tough day yesterday with the Finnish protest loss, and then another loss at Brewster's. This one's going to be skied out to deep left center field, but moving on it is Skylar Hunter. He will make the catch. Tagging up on it is Nate Eichhoff, and he will move up to third. So a productive fly out there for Danny Casals. Gets a man further into scoring position. So a tough day yesterday. How psychologically do you guys bounce back today and have opened up the game right now?
Yeah, yesterday was a long day. I think we got to the field at about 10 o'clock, 10:30, and played 3 innings, and then had to do it all over again, but played 9 innings next game and had a tough game. Brewster came back, beat us. All their hits weren't really that good of hits. They got a couple errors, good hops in the field, and came out and beat us. But yeah, yesterday was a long day. So today we want to just come back and bounce back from yesterday, and so far we're on the right track.
It's a quick 0-2 count to Tanner Morris from Derek West. Isaac, you've turned around this season the last couple weeks when you got some more regular playing time out in right field. What adjustments did you make to get on that hot streak you were on?
Yeah, so at one point in the season, I want to say I sat like 6 or 7 games in a row, and during that time I just watched the game and just watched our hitters and watched opposing hitters and tried to pick up on things and just kept telling myself I'm going to get my opportunity. I just have to wait and be patient, and when I do, I'm going to have to take full advantage. And when I did get my opportunity, I just told myself to just be aggressive and leave everything out in the field, and playing multiple games in a row also helped. I kind of stayed in a little bit of a rhythm, and that's why baseball is a weird sport. You play every day. You want to stay in that type of rhythm at the plate, and being able to play back-to-back games, and that helped a lot.
And Isaac, real quick, here is this 0-2 now to Matt Gorse. Not Matt Gorse, got a pinch hitter here, don't we?
Tanner Morris is going to be the one who bounces it over to second base. Sahid Valenzuela will go on to first and take the second out of the inning. But coming in to score is Nate Eichhoff, and the Mariners are on the board for the first time today. It is now 6-1 Gatemen.
Yeah, like you said, Morris, coming in there. And although he wasn't the substitution in center field for Gorski got booted out of center field, and then a bevy of defensive substitutions kind of moved him up the line. But that is his spot that was taken out of things offensively. But now Driscoll the batter. But Isaac, real quick, you had a little bit of a tough day at the plate yesterday, now getting the day off today. You mentioned it, you were on a bit of a hot streak, and you got into a rhythm. How do you not let this disrupt your rhythm?
That's the thing. Baseball is a tough sport. I just got to keep doing what I do every day, stick to my routine of what I do before each game and what I do in the batting cages during batting practice, and just keep doing everything the same and keep the same mentality and mindset at the plate, and just kind of stick with it, because you can't kind of give up on what's been working for you. And yeah, I had a tough day yesterday, but that's baseball. It happens, and you just got to bounce back and learn from it and move on.
1-1 is going to be taken outside by Logan Driscoll. Isaac, the big news of the day, Bryant Packard with that sickness will not be rejoining the Gatemen this year. How do you guys, when he leaves for Team USA, you always think at the back of your mind he's coming back, one of your best hitters. How do you guys adjust to that now going into the stretch run?
No, it's not that big of an adjustment. We would have liked to have him back, and he's a great player, and it's really fun playing with him and even playing with Andrew Vaughn and all the other Team USA guys. But, we're all hungry to play and get at bats, and all of us want to compete and play in front of all these scouts out here. So, it's going to be tough not getting that bat in the lineup and having that type of power in our lineup, but guys are going to step up, and I think we'll be fine.
So coming off of that, as the 3-2 pitch comes in here, which we'll see the result of this pitch. Hammered foul, so got a little more time here actually coming over on it. Never mind, bounces off the Harwich dugout, so we'll do it again, 3-2. So you mentioned that, Packard, he was one of the guys that produced a lot of pop, and the pop was lost when him and Shenton, obviously they provided a lot of extra base power. Who do you think going forward? You mentioned the guys have to step up, and I completely agree. Who do you think are going to be the guys to really fill in the extra base power in the middle of that lineup?
I'd have to say Jeremy. He has some sneaky pop that I don't think he's shown yet, but he's a tremendous hitter, and I think that extra base power that he has is going to show up.
This one is powered out to deep center field on his horse, Skylar Hunter. And what else is new? He tracks it down in front of the 400-foot sign in center field for the out that retires the side. A run comes home for the Mariners, now just 6-1 Gatemen as we head to the 5th inning on the Gatemen Baseball Network. I'd like to thank Isaac Collins for joining us in this inning. Isaac, good luck the rest of the year.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We'll be right back after these messages. Thanks.
The Gateway Tavern, located on Marion Road in Wareham, offers an extensive but not exhaustive array of menu choices. They search for the finest in foods, ranging from garden fresh produce to hand-selected seafood, and have special menus that change daily. The Gateway Tavern is proud to be the official helmet of the Wareham Gatemen.
One of the area's best restaurants is located right up the street, Brewfish Bar and Eatery. Brewfish offers 20 rotating craft beers on tap and creative pub food. Check out their off-the-menu brunch with a Bloody Mary bar and $5 mimosas on Sundays. Join us for outdoor dining and drinks under the tent, or for live music every weekend, located on Route 105 in Marion.
South Coast Health, operators of Charlton Memorial Hospital, St. Luke's Hospital, and Toby Hospital, delivers an unmatched combination of clinical excellence with a personal touch. They are proud to serve as southeastern Massachusetts and Rhode Island's only not-for-profit health system, as well as the region's largest employer. South Coast Health, the best care plus something more.
To the 5th inning we go. Luke Roscom will lead things off. 8-9-1 due up in the Gatemen order. This one's going to be taken outside from today's catcher. Ball one. Was reached base twice without the benefit of a hit. Was hit by a pitch in the 2nd inning and then walked in the 4th. Still no official at bat. This one is taken outside once again. 2-0. Would come around to score last inning, in which the Gatemen pushed 4 across. 6-1 is our score. Gatemen leading in the hit category as well, 7-2. Outside corner called, strike. Still Cal Kruger, the right-hander out of Indiana, out there on the mound. And his 2-1 is going to miss down low and in the dirt. Not where he nor Mason Meadows wanted it. That puts the count to 3-1 on Roscom. (3-1), just clipping the outside corner. Roscom was a step or two down to first base. But he is called back, and the count is now full. The catcher is hitting .288 on the year. Full count offering is going to be bounced to second. So instead of a leadoff walk, Luke Roscom is retired 4-3 for the first out of the inning.
Roscom is 0 for 1 on the day, but has reached base twice. Skylar Hunter also having himself a pretty good day at the plate. But I think Luke Roscom, if the Gatemen want to be successful, they're going to need more extra base production out of him. He's a free swinger. Or not even a free swinger. He swings very hard, I think, because he does register a lot of walks, a lot of hit by pitches, a lot of strikeouts also for Roscom. But when he connects with the ball, he can take it a long, long way. The Mariners saw that, of course, the 3-run double in the 9th to tie the game out of nowhere against the Mariners. So they've seen that firsthand, and Roscom, I think, the game would be well served to have him bat higher in the lineup if he produces more.
It's 0-1 the count to Skylar Hunter after he fouls one off. Now takes one down low to make it 1-1. Certainly nothing shortened up on that left-hand swing from Luke Roscom. And that's why a lot of his hits are pulled to right field, but that 3-run double is actually taken the other way to left center at Spillane. This one down too low. Once again, 2-1 the count in favor of Skylar Hunter, switch hitter batting left. Going to be bounced up the middle. Morris will move right behind the second base bag and throw on to Lipsius at first base. And there's 2 up, 2 down in the Gatemen half of the 5th. So back to the top of the order, Sahid Valenzuela, who was 0 for 2 today, but drew a walk on a lengthy at-bat, or a plate appearance, I should say, back in the 4th inning. At .317 on the year coming into today is the second baseman from Cal State Fullerton. Takes this one on the outside corner for a called strike one. .01 is going to be knobbed into left field and in there for a base hit. One hop in front of Eichhoff out there. And a solid single for Sahid Valenzuela, who hasn't had many of those recently. Gets on board here with a good piece of hitting.
Yeah, I was going to say, really encouraging to see from Sahid Valenzuela, as even though he is batting above 300 and has been one of the more consistent hitters in this Gatemen lineup, the last couple days have not been kind to him offensively. So finally, in his 4th plate appearance, registers that base knock, 1 for 3 on the day for the Gatemen second baseman.
So now Austin Shenton in an unfamiliar 2-hole for him tonight. Has reached twice, a single, and reached out an error by the shortstop Morris that brought 2 runs home in the last inning. First pitch misses down low for ball 1. .1-0 going to be fouled off to the left. So with 2 outs in the inning, 1-1 is the count on Austin Shenton with Sahid Valenzuela over at first base. This one is going to eat up Meadows and get behind him. It'll stop about halfway from home plate to the backstop, but that is more than enough to get Sahid Valenzuela down into scoring position at second base. So with 2 outs after the first 2 men went down, Valenzuela singles. Now he's up to second, and a chance for RBI number 21 for Austin Shenton, but he's not going to get it just yet as this one misses down low. He can also extend his team lead in walks as the count is now at 3-1. 20 of them on the year for Austin Shenton. Next on the team in walks, Bryant Packard with 12. Not been with the team for a couple of weeks now. That walk's going to have to wait as this one is in there for a called strike. Full count to Shenton. Two outs, the payoff pitch, going to miss down low, and that is walk number 21 for Austin Shenton on the year. He keeps the inning alive. Runners at first and second ahead of Jeremy Idens.
Why not throw up another crooked number here as Cal Kruger came on a relief of Austin Wood, and Wood only gave up the pair of he's given up 3 earned runs, I should say, as Sahid Valenzuela was his responsibility, came around to score. But keep it going here. Why not? Help the run differential, pad the stats, put this game well out of reach from Harwich.
And this one is going to plunk Jeremy Idens, so he gets on base one of the easy ways, but not one of the most comfortable ways. Takes that one off the thigh and will trot down to first base, and the bases are loaded again. All coming with 2 outs, and now Paven Parks will stand in. Parks was able to drive in a run his last time. It was a single that was turned into a double. I mean, it was bounced above the head of Casals at second base, and he was actually able to advance to second. So since it was no error, a straight double for Paven Parks that brought a run home. And this one misses outside, so he's ahead of the count 1-0. Misses down low. 2-0, and a nice hitter's count for Paven Parks with the bases full of Gatemen. Is going to be fouled straight back into the screen behind home plate. Count goes to 2-1. Parks outside of that double, which makes him 1 for 3, has a couple of strikeouts in the first and third innings, both off of Austin Wood. 2 of 8. He's going to slice this one foul off to the left, so from 2-0 to 2-2. Kruger battling back against the Gatemen designated hitter.
Parks did have success in his last at-bat, like you said, Cam, but it'd be good to see him put a charge into one. Really hit one on the screws like he did his last couple of times up against Hyannis. I keep talking about that, but it really was incredible how hard he hit those 2 baseballs. I think he's another guy that's used the phrase that Isaac Collins used, has some sneaky pop. I'd like to see him get going, especially if he continues batting in the middle of this lineup.
2-2 with 2 outs, going to miss up high. So Paven Parks will move it to a most uncomfortable spot for a pitcher. 2 outs, bases loaded, now a 3-2 count. Going to be spoiled off to the left. Of course, runners at every base off with the pitch. But the count will stay full at 3-2. Two outs, and Parks will sky this one out to shallow center field. But moving on it is Norman. He will make the catch, and the Gatemen leave them loaded. And it is still 6-1 as we head to the bottom of the 5th here on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
The Gatemen wish to thank Patty Wild and the trustees of the John Wild Charitable Trust for their continued support of Gatemen Baseball in Wareham.
Head on over to BB's Bar and Grill for food, drinks, and fun. Located just off Cranberry Highway, come in to sample the scrumptious fare or relax with a drink while enjoying live entertainment. The Gatemen thank BB's Bar and Grill for their support.
Established in 1877, TM Riders is a family-run insurance agency located in downtown Middleborough, Massachusetts. TM Riders' goal is to find the best coverage at a fair rate for their customers, but they really value giving the best service they can provide. Visit the office on Thatcher's Row if you would like P&C insurance information, quotes, and policies.
Back out for the 5th inning here at White House Field. And Derek West still on the mound for the Gatemen, but taking over for play-by-play duties for the rest of the game is my broadcast partner, Henrique Demore.
Thank you very much, Cam. Here in the bottom of the 5th inning, it is the Gatemen that lead at 6-1. Gatemen surrendered their only run of the day. Came on the... Excuse me. As I flip my scorebook over, the RBI ground out by Matt. My apologies. Tanner Morris, who was the substitution there. Gorski out of the game. Defensive lineman still the same here for Wareham, however, as Mason Meadows takes ball 1 in the dirt. Meadows 0 for 1 with a strikeout, the catcher from Georgia. That one hammered down the left field line, going to get down for a base hit, and should be extra bases for Meadows as he rounds first base. Chasing it is Jeremy Idens. He will get it in, but too little too late. Actually closer than I thought it was going to be. Idens showing off the arm. He got a good jump on it out there and left, but a leadoff double, back-to-back leadoff doubles to start innings for the Harwich Mariners here. They've got a man in scoring position for Gabe Rivera. So he will bat with 1 on and nobody out. Derek West still on the hill for the Gatemen. The redshirt sophomore out of Pitt has been awesome in this appearance. That one skied our direction, but just behind us as it'll clink through the trees and hit the ground with a thud. Long, loud strike, 0-1.
Yeah, and I'm a little surprised, Enrique, to see Derek West still on the mound. Not that he's been knocked around or anything, but just some long innings at the plate for the Gatemen offensively. Usually like to rest a guy and just go to your bullpen outside of that. Don't want him waiting around and then trying to throw hard afterwards. You never know what it could do to a guy's elbow.
No, I hear you. To his elbow and just to his rhythm, even psychologically, right? As he sit there a little bit, the arm gets cold. No, the rest is good. In theory, it is a little surprising, but like you said, Cam, he has been solid. Just 2 hits led up to go with the 5 strikeouts for the Pitt Panther. The 0-2 breaking ball just missed inside. Really, really good pitch. Did not miss by much. 1-2 still in the driver's seat is West, though.
That is a brilliant breaking ball there. Just a bit higher than West wanted it, but that means it's right in the middle of the strike zone. You want it breaking towards the bottom. That looked like it was right down the middle. Tough, no call.
That one fastball up and in. Darts his way out of that one. Does Gabe Rivera. 2-2. We see Tyler Kaiser warming up in the Gatemen bullpen. We haven't seen him since the bullpen day affair, the last time these two teams met. But he did go only 2 innings, so not surprising to see Kaiser come out of the pen. That one in the dirt. Did he go around? Appeal made? No, says the field umpire. So we will we'll move to 3-2, I should say. Gatemen lead at 6-1. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. West comes set, checks the runner, goes forward. Fastball misses outside, and that borderline pitch breaking ball was the best pitch he threw all at bat, but was not enough, as I want to call ball 1, and then 3 straight balls come to Gabe Rivera, so he's aboard here with nobody out. 2 on for Harwich, I should say. Now here comes Ben Norman.
Positive night for Gabe Rivera. Came into the day with just 2 walks drawn and 27 strikeouts. And now this is 2 full count walks that he's drawn. So making some kind of adjustment, at least tonight anyway.
Yeah, no kidding. I think if this continues here, unfortunately for West, might see Kaiser sooner rather than later. But for now, he's got to deal with Ben Norman. He's 1 for 2. in the dirt, 1-0. Now time called. A mound meeting will be had here as well. Pitching coach out there to discuss strategy. You can discuss investment strategy with Joe Crespi from Merrill Lynch, who sponsors this trip to the mound. Could be a stalling tactic, and it is. There's a new right-handed arm coming out of the pen. It is Tyler Kaiser. We'll have the numbers on him for you when we come back. Pitching change on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Don't go anywhere.
The 2018 Cape League All-Star Game will be played at White House Field in Harwich Sunday, July 22nd. Game time is 6 p.m., gates open at 2. One highlight will be the Cumberland Farms home run hitting contest. There will also be an autograph session and a large merchandise village with items from many of the teams. Support the Gatemen in part by purchasing your ticket right now at the merchandise booth. Tickets are just $5.
Clobbered high and deep to right center field, and this one is gone. A home run.
Eastern Propane and Oil is the Wareham Gatemen home run sponsor. Each time a home run is hit by a Gatemen player, Eastern Propane and Oil donates a camp scholarship to a deserving youth. Eastern Propane and Oil, we're in your neighborhood.
The Beach House Grill at Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa is the perfect spot for a seaside lunch or evening clam bake. A proud member of leading hotels of the world.
Welcome back to White House Field here in Harwich, site of the All-Star Game on Sunday. But right now, the home team, despite trailing 6-1 here in the bottom of the fifth inning, are making a little noise, and they have knocked the starter out of the game. Derek Westday is done. 4 innings of work, scattered around 3 hits, struck out 5 as well in his 4 innings of work. 2 walks as well for the righty out of Pitt. But he will make way for Tyler Kaiser out of Eastern Florida State Junior College to be attending Miami University, the Hurricanes, the U, as it's known, down there on the south tip of Florida. He's making the move to D1, but making a quick pit stop in Wareham right now. And he started off the year, and his first appearance, actually, was at White House Field. So a little full circle moment here, the universe at work, and bringing Tyler Kaiser on in relief in what was then a 2-0 deficit for the Gatemen. Here he's working with a 5-run lead, and despite a rough patch in the middle of the season, Kaiser has been solid in his last couple of appearances, and in the beginning of the season was absolutely lights out for Wareham. Pitch number 2, strike at the outside part of the plate, 1-1 now to Ben Norman. And if Kaiser were to walk Norman, since it was only a 1-0 count to Norman, the walk would be credited to Tyler Kaiser. Aaron Shunk waits on deck. He's 0 for 2, but did reach on a drop third strike in the third. Kaiser comes set, holds the glove neck high. Kreidler retreats from the runner at second. That one weakly hit, foul. A breaking ball that dove there and went to go get it did Ben Norman. Chased it, got just enough of the bat on it. 1-2. Kaiser at his best as a strikeout machine. Real power arm out of Florida. Shakes off a couple of signs from Luke Roscom. Now comes set, but not before time is called by the Iowa Hawkeye Ben Norman, now playing center field. Started out the game in left. (6-1) Gatemen were in the bottom of the fifth inning. The 1-2. Just outside. Good fastball. Move the count to 2-2. Just a bit outside. I think it was roughly where Roscom wanted it, but maybe a little more on the black. Norman will step back in. Still will be protecting with 2 strikes. Hasn't choked up on the bat any. Waves it a few times. Now comes Seta. So does Kaiser. 2-2 pitch in the dirt. Roscom picks it out of the dirt. 3-2. First and second. Nobody out. With 1 swing of the bat. Wareham could potentially make it. A 2-run deficit, but now they trail by 5. Double play ball still in order. Gatemen infield ready for it. Kreidler and Valenzuela pinched just a hair up the middle. Swing and a miss. He got him on strikes. Blew the fastball right by him. Ben Norman frustrated with himself. He didn't catch up to it. 1 away here in the 5th.
And that's been Kaiser's best pitch all year. He's trying to develop some secondary pitches, but that fastball is still his bread and butter and just places it perfectly there to get a good hitter in Norman out.
Now Aaron Shunk, the all-star third baseman out of Georgia for Harwich, will bat. Like I said, he'll get to play the all-star game here at his home field this summer. The 2 runners on base, the responsibility of Derek West. Breaking ball misses outside. Want to notice Shunk batting just a hair below 300 on the year. 0 for 2, like I said, and Andre Livsius batting over 300, another all-star for Harwich, waits on deck. Roscom sets up low and in. Kaiser checks the runner, goes forward. Fastball skied in our direction, but foul. It takes out some tree branches on the way down. Heard a couple of oohs and ahs behind me. Might have hit someone, but I don't know if it actually did. Sun has set. The lights are on at White House Field, and I am regretting that I didn't bring a sweatshirt. Temperature starts to drop here into the 60s.
Rookie mistake, Enrique. Rookie mistake.
And 2 days in a row, because it was cold yesterday at Brewster. Or at least it started to get cold, even though the earlier start time at Stony Brook leaves the sun out for longer. But I don't know, by the 9th inning, you might hear my teeth chattering over the air if we're not careful. Gatemen lead it by 5. Kaiser ready with the 1-1 to Shunk. The pitch. Hammered high into right field, giving chases Goldfarb, and he will not get to it, but now matter. That one stays foul. Hard hit, probably would have brought in 2 runs. Gabe Rivera might have been able to scurry on home from first. But just a long, loud strike at the end of the day. Shunk taking his sweet time, will step back in, rub some dirt on his batting gloves. Some people opt for pine tar plus batting gloves, dirt plus batting gloves. Combination of those 3, no batting gloves in some combination of them. You see a little bit of pine tar on the middle of a light brown bat. There for Shunk. That one in the dirt, good pick from Roscom, ranging over to his right. 2-2. And he really had to stab at that one with his glove, as that one was really far outside, couldn't really, in a perfect world you would drop to your knees, use your chest to block it, keep it in front of you. But that one missed pretty badly out of the hand of Kaiser. Going to try to bounce back here on the 2-2 pitch. Fastball, chop foul straight back. We'll do it again.
Gatemen saw 3 left-handers yesterday against the Whitecaps. A couple of righties have been on the mound today for Harwich, but they do have a southpaw warming up. Joe LaSorsa is the man down there getting loose for the Mariners.
So he might be the next man to go, but Kaiser still trying to get through his second batter in the dirt, 3-2.
Another good pick there by Roscom. Not much time to react and shift that body over, has to use the backhand. Guy's been getting adjusted to that position all year behind home plate. It's been getting better by the weeks.
Kaiser set, payoff pitch. Swinging a high drive, shallow right field. Goldfarb can't see it. He has no idea where it is. Racing over Valenzuela. What a catch. Going over to second, not in time. Valenzuela just bailed out Goldfarb in a major way. Second out of the inning. Still 2 on. My goodness. That is some heads-up baseball from Sahid Valenzuela.
That's the play of the night so far. Goldfarb looking into those lights on the third base side. Just absolutely no idea where it was. And Valenzuela is still looking up into those lights and had to go ranging back into right field and make the over-the-shoulder catch a la Willie Mays. out there in short right field. A terrific play that probably saves a run.
All-star at the plate, and defensively no slouch either. That one shot foul down the first base line. Yeah, that was no easy play, like you said, Cam. I mean, he came out of nowhere. I mean, that is to see that one. It was shallow. It was hit shallow, and Goldfarb obviously would have had a chance on it if he would have seen it. But most other second, no, maybe not most, but some other second basemen, they might see, okay, that's Goldfarb's ball. They just kind of maybe nonchalantly walk into right field as that one is shot straight back, and might wait for Goldfarb to get it and stand close. But Valenzuela had a beat on it the whole way. Hustle play from the Cal State Fullerton Titan. 0-2 very quickly here now to Lipsius. Moved from short to first, but still batting in the 3 holes, looking for his first hit of the day. The 0-2, swing and a miss. He got him on strikes. 2 strikeouts on the inning for Kaiser. And now they're going to rule a balk on Kaiser, I guess. Although I cannot, I mean, not that I'm looking for balks. That's not my job. That's the umpire's job. But Don Sneddon's going to go out there to argue, but will retreat after a brief argument. What a tough break.
And it's very rare that you see that after the pitch. So many of these little things that can turn into balks happen before the pitcher is even throwing down.
Mm-hmm.
So it is rare to see it after a man is struck out. But new life. I mean, that moves 2 guys in a scoring position now. A hit makes it a ball game.
Yeah, like you said, second and third now with 2 outs. See what Lipsius can do here. Swinging a hard ground ball. This one over to Kreidler. Should do it. Across the diamond. And the shortstop from UCLA bails out. A balk by Kaiser. The Mariners threaten but do not score. We go to the top of the 6th inning. Still 6-1 Gatemen on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
The Wareham Gatemen thank Reed Custom Soils for your support. Reed Custom Soils is New England's most experienced precision soil blenders and is trusted by over 300 golf courses throughout New England.
At E.L. Morse Lumber, commitment to the customer shines through in every aspect of their daily operations, including their competitive prices, complete product selection, and superior customer care. Visit E.L. Morse Lumber, located on Cranberry Highway in Wareham, for service with a personal touch.
Are you hungry? Visit the concession stand for some new menu items. Try fried dough, chicken fingers, or french fries along with your regular favorites, hot dogs, burgers, cold drinks, and ice cream. Proceeds from the concession stand support the Gatemen and the Wareham High DECA program.
Welcome back to White House Field. Enrique DeMore alongside Cam Stewart bringing you the action from Harwich. 6-1 Gatemen as Tyler Kaiser got into a jam but successfully wrestled himself out of it and salvaged. Actually, he didn't even really get himself into a jam. I misspoke. The 2 runners on base were the responsibility of Derek West, and with 2 outs, a balk moved them into scoring position, made it a little interesting there, but got a bounce out off the bat of Andre Lipsius of Tennessee to end the frame, and that's where we sit right now. Top of the 6th inning, still 6-1 Gatemen. We have a pitching change here for Harwich. Joe La Sorza in now. We have not seen him before. 3-1 record, 5.74 ERA on the year, exclusively a bullpen guy. Pretty good numbers aside from that ERA. The 6 walks to 17 strikeouts and 15 innings of work, very respectable, but it's the 18 hits, that have gotten him into some trouble. 153 whip as well. Out of St. John's, the Red Storm is La Sorza. Cal Kruger's day is done. Pair of strikeouts. Walk and a hit batsman for him. Gave up 1 run, surrendered a few hits as well. Third pitcher to go after Austin Wood. Had a pretty good outing himself. 8 strikeouts, with 5 earned runs to his name 4 walks, pair of strikeouts as well. That one fisted right into the glove of Aaron Shunk over at third. Goldfarb didn't get good contact on it and got it right into the glove of the third baseman for Harwich. 1 up, 1 down.
And you talk about the ERA is the only real striking number for La Sorsa. I think that goes back to one outing, a very unfestive 3rd of July at home against Chatham. He got the loss when inning and 2/3, 7 runs, all of them earned on 7 hits, and faced 12 batters in that one. So that really does a number on it. 7 of the 18 hits coming in just an inning and 2/3.
I might have misspoke earlier as ball 1 comes in. Might have misspoke earlier on the run totals to Austin Wood. I trusted my silent math looking at my scorebook instead of the official line. So my apologies there as that one is laced into center field. Might not get down as a base hit as Ben Norman comes in and makes the grab. Would not get down for a base hit. Harwich's center fielder comes up big and robs Lyle Lockhart Jr. of his first hit of the day. Now Ryan Kreidler going to try to notch his second here with 2 out.
And that's great defense by Norman, not just because of the slide with the catch, but because he's tracking it the whole way. Takes the perfect route to the ball that time. If he makes one misstep, that's dropping in for a base hit no matter where he's going. But he reads it right off the bat. Saw Jacob Goldfarb in the last inning have trouble with the lights here. Center field doesn't have that same kind of trouble, and Norman's able to come on and make a nice sliding grab.
That one over the head significantly of Meadows behind the dish. 1-0 to Kreidler. Like I said, 1 for 3 on the day, pair of strikeouts, but an RBI single back in the second. That one again misses upstairs, not as badly though, 2-2. La Sorsa, second team All-Big East his freshman year. Collegiate baseball freshman All-American as well, but just finished up his sophomore year for the Red Storm. Really good numbers for him. Bullpen piece, 51 innings of work. Not too many strikeouts, 36 of them. And again, that opponent batting average still pretty high at St. John's, but didn't get into too much trouble because of it. A 2.09 ERA. Perfect 4-0 record out of the bullpen for the Red Storm. 2-2 is where the count is at currently to Ryan Kreidler. So 1 strike away from getting out of this inning is La Sorsa. From the windup, he deals. Just outside. And that actually was ball 4, so it was a full count previously on Kreidler. My apologies there. So Kreidler, after registering 2 outs in an inning, does get on base here. Luke Roscom is the batter. He's 0 for 1, but has reached base twice and scored. Does his usual routine of scribbling something. Well, I'm actually not sure what. I'd love to ask him exactly what that is. Scribble something into the dirt around home plate with the knob of the bat, flips it over, puts it in his hands, and steps into the left-handed batter's box. 2 on, 1 out. Gatemen trying to work a little 2-out magic here and add to a 6-1 lead, 1-0. Roscom takes it outside. La Sorsa sets. The 1-0. Meadows set up outside, got it in. Missed with that one, 2-0. Two-0 pitch. Got him on the outside corner. Bit of a late call there, but it looked like a good pitch. Borderline, but does get enough of the zone for the home plate umpire. 2-1 is the count to Roscom. Lefty versus the righty, or versus the lefty, excuse me, La Sorsa. That one inside, 3-1.
And he's done his job so far. You obviously bring him in to face the lefty, Goldfarb, and switch Lockhart around to the weaker right side. Got those two guys out, but then walked the right-hand hitting Kreidler. Now another lefty-lefty matchup. He's behind in this one, though.
3-1, right down Broadway, 3-2. Roscom, like we said, high walks, high strikeouts. He's very, very patient at the plate and swings very, very hard. 1 on 2 out. The payoff pitch. Kreidler off. Swing and a miss, but actually got a piece of it. My apologies. A big bounce out of the glove of Meadows. So we will do it again. Roscom got a piece of it. Stays alive.
I don't blame you on that one. That looked like he just swung right through it. The ball didn't really dip or anything. Just looked like Meadows missed it, but I guess he must have got a piece of it.
Yeah, usually even through the headsets you can hear two noises or hear it get something off the bat. Swing and a miss clearly on that one, though. Roscom goes down swinging for the first time today. And has some words with the home plate umpire on his way back to the dugout. But that'll do it for the Gatemen. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. When we come back, J.D. Rachi will give you your second and final look around the Cape League on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Red Shirt Fridays is a national program created to acknowledge, honor, and support our troops who put themselves in harm's way to defend our freedom. In support of this program, the Cape League teams will be wearing a specially designed red jersey every Friday. This special weekly celebration of Red Shirt Fridays is sponsored by 47 Brand, HP Hood, Cape Cod Regional Transit Authority, Advanced Embroidery, and the Cape League. Support our troops and join us by wearing red each Friday.
Welcome back to White House Field in Harwich. The Gatemen out in front of the Mariners 6-1 in the middle of the 6th inning. And every other game on the Cape has gone final. This still the only one going on. A big 7-2 win out in Cotuit for the Kettleers tonight over the division-leading Harbor Hawks. Cape Cod's own Luke Chevalier went 6 strong innings for the Cats, allowing just 1 run and striking out 4. At Red Wilson Field in Yarmouth, the YD Red Sox took care of business and topped the Bourne Braves 8-2. YD strung together 17 hits in the win. Bradley Beasley, Quinn Cotton, and Luke Waddell each had 3 hits for the Red Sox. Meanwhile, in Brewster, a gigantic bounce-back win for the Chatham Anglers. How about a 17-3 victory over the Whitecaps in just 7 innings? Colin Simpson delivered a career performance for Chatham, driving in 5 runs on a 2-for-4 day at the plate. Finally, the Falmouth Commodores continue to roll. A dominant 8-2 win at Arnie Allen Diamond tonight for the Doors. Southern Miss's Matt Wallner crushed his first 2 homers of the season tonight and brought home 4 runs in the win. 6-1 here at White House Field in Harwich. Tyler Kaiser on the mound, and in for the play-by-play, here is Henrique DeMore.
Thank you very much, JD. Everyone else has gone final, like he said. And a big, and I mean big, win for both the Kettleers and for the Gatemen. As now they have their division lead, or division deficit, I should say, cut from 2 games to a game and a half. Still 3 points, though. For the Gatemen, on track to win this one if it holds. Gatemen will go 1 game back and 1 point back, most importantly, of the first place Harbor Hawks. Swing and a miss on that one. First pitch blown by Nate Eichhoff. And with 1 more game to go against the Harbor Hawks, that could go a long way in determining who gets the 1 seed going into the playoffs. Especially with Falmouth barking at the heels of both those teams. They sit in 3rd right now. Swinging a hard ground ball over to second. Diving stop by Zahid Valenzuela from 1 knee. Safe by a hair. I don't know about that, Cam.
Well, that's just because that's incorrect.
Yeah.
Beat him by a step there on the throw.
That is unfortunate.
And that takes a dazzling play off the board from Zahid Valenzuela. That's really too bad. It's obviously 5-run game right now. Shouldn't make too much of a difference, but I think he got him.
So that one does sting as a free base runner allowed. Questionable call by the first base umpire. Puts one aboard here to lead things off. And that one is sent into shallow right field. Coming in on it, Goldfarb makes the catch. Has no trouble with this one. 1 away. Danny Casals is retired. Now here comes Tanner Morris. Second at bat of the day for him. Came on as a defensive substitution in the 3rd inning. Bat for the first time in the 4th. RBI ground out for him. So he's 0 for 1, but does have that RBI. Ball 1 to Morris. A lot of blowouts today on the Cape, like JD told us. Smallest margin of victory, 5. Largest, 14. The Gatemen, 5-run lead of their own against Harwich here at White House Field. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. That one outside. Luke Roscom not able to hold on to it. Although that one was clearly outside on borderline pitches, home plate umpires not too likely to give you the call if you can't hold on to it. 2-0. That one shot down the first base line and into right field for a base hit. Station to station, as only to second base goes Nate Eichhoff, I should say. Tanner Morris reaches with a base hit, his first of the day. One away here, 2 on for Logan Driscoll. Driscoll 0 for 2, put an absolute charge into one into center field. His last time up, though, Skylar Hunter ran all the way back to the base of the 400 in dead center. Make that catch. Righty Kaiser against the lefty. Gets a piece of that one, bounces out of the glove of Luke Roscom, 0-1. Driscoll an even 200 on the year. The two guys below him, both below the Mendoza line in Meadows and Rivera. Meadows does have a base knock on the day, though. He waits on deck. Doubled down the left field line his last time up. Driscoll, meanwhile, searching for his first hit of the day. 2 on, 1 out, 6-1 Gatemen in the bottom of the 6th. The 0-1 upstairs, 1-1. It's now the second straight inning that Harwich has threatened. They weren't able to convert as they got their first 2 runners aboard in the 5th. Were helped out by some dazzling defensive plays by Sahid Valenzuela. Should have had another one this inning, but the baseball gods deemed it not so. Changeup drops in there, strike 2. Pair of base hits have the Mariners threatening again here, though. The 1-2 from the righty Kaiser drops in there, strike 3. Absolutely rung him up on the outside corner. Second of the day for Kaiser. 2 on, 2 out now for Mason Meadows.
Couple of changeups to end that at bat. We haven't seen too much of that pitch from Tyler Kaiser tonight, but drops 2 of them perfectly, breaking away from the left-hand hitter there, Driscoll. That's a pitch that was in his arsenal before the season. That and the fastball were really his 2 pitches that he used almost exclusively, and they've worked for him so far tonight.
Like you said, not really a pitch we see in his arsenal, but there's the value right there in front of you of having a diverse arsenal. Power fastball, good breaking ball from Kaiser. On back-to-back changeups, we've never seen the changeup as a put-out pitch, much less really at all this year. Fastball misses low, though, but Luke Roscom likes the miss. If you're going to miss, you miss low, obviously. Roscom with an affirming nod as he rifles it back to his pitcher. Eichhoff at second, Tanner Morris at first base. Swing and a miss on a fastball at the knees, 1-1. Cool, clear day here at White House Field. Not too much of a breeze. Gatemen trying to hold on to a 6-1 lead. Harwich threatening with 2 on and 2 out here. Got him right down the middle, 1-2. Meadows 1 for 2. We're trying to boost that team low. 114, batting average. Out from the basement. The pitch. Got a piece of it, stays alive. We'll do it again, 1-2. Gabe Rivera waits on deck. Pair of walks for the Miami right fielder. Home plate umpire gives time call back in. Roscom sets up low and in. On the righty, Meadows. Kaiser delivers that one, chopped foul. Both runners smartly were off on the crack of the bat. They will retreat back to their bases. Looking forward, the Gatemen get back to playing West Division opponents. Pair of home games against Bourne and Katuitt tomorrow and the next day for Wareham. The 1-2 tipped it into the glove of Roscom. Strike 3. Kaiser gets back-to-back strikeouts to end the sixth. To the top of the seventh we go here from White House Field. 6-1 Gatemen on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Red Shirt Fridays is a national program created to acknowledge, honor, and support our troops who put themselves in harm's way to defend our freedom. In support of this program, the Cape League teams will be wearing a specially designed red jersey every Friday. This special weekly celebration of Red Shirt Fridays is sponsored by 47 Brand, HP Hood, Cape Cod Regional Transit Authority, Advanced Embroidery, and the Cape League. Support our troops and join us by wearing red each Friday.
Northeast Maritime Institute's College of Maritime Science is a proud sponsor of the Wareham Gatemen. If you're looking for a career at sea, look to NMI's program of education, adventure, and employment on northeastmaritime.com, America's premier two-year maritime college.
One of the Gatemen's favorite places for their post-game meals is Cool Cone, where you can get anything from fried clams and fried chicken to an ice cream sundae, and then top it all off with a round of mini-golf. Cool Cone, located on Route 6 on the Wareham-Marion line.
Welcome back to White House Field. 6-1 Gatemen on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Top of the seventh inning here, bottom of the order to lead it off for Wareham. Skylar Hunter, Sahid Valenzuela, Austin Shenton, 9-1-2. Set to go against Joe Lasorsa, starting his second inning of work. Got through a relatively uneventful sixth inning. A strikeout, a walk, and a lineout, as well as a flyout for him. First pitch, swing and a miss on a fastball at the knees. Hunter down 0-1 quick. 1 for 2 today as Skylar Hunter continues his steady climb out of the 100s batting average-wise. At 189 right now, pretty much the everyday center fielder for Wareham. With a couple more good ABs, could push himself over the Mendoza line. That misses low, 1-1, the count evens to Hunter. That one Scott follows well, 1-2. The 1-2, shot straight back. Hunter putting together a very good at-bat here. Does have a single walk and a run scored. Came in on the RBI single by Jeremy Idens back in the fourth inning. But gets rung up on that one, strike 3. Tough AB for Hunter, work himself out of that 0-2 count. Fouled off a couple of pitches, but down on strikes on that one. Second strikeout of the day for Lasorsa. One away, bases empty for Sahid Valenzuela. Switch hitting Cal State Fullerton Titan bats and takes ball 1 upstairs. Valenzuela batted .270 this year after batting .290 his freshman year at Cal State Fullerton. This team was eliminated in the last round of the Super Regionals by the upstart Washington Huskies, who made their first trip to the NCAA tournament ever. In a very loaded Pac-12 conference, the Huskies have not had that crowning success until this year. That one weakly hit left side, but cut off by the pitcher Lasorsa across the diamond to first. He goes 1-3 put out for those of you keeping score at home. 2 away now for Austin Shenton. Walk, single, and a run scored. RBI E6 back in the fourth. First batter that Cal Kruger saw. And the run that he drove in was unearned, as it was on the error. Shenton reached on the error, but due to Tanner Morris not be able to hold on to it. Luke Roscom came around to score. Swing and a miss on the first pitch to Austin Shenton. Team leading and almost Cape leading, 390 batting average. Second to Matthew Barefoot out of Campbell for Hyannis. 1-2 as that one catches the outside corner. La Sorsa, one strike away from an immaculate 7th inning here. Time called. Shenton, but La Sorsa was taking too long. He's still set from the windup. And with an iron gaze down to catcher. Guess when he likes the 0-2. Fastball rung him up at the knees. That one came at 1,000,000 miles an hour out of the left hand of La Sorsa, and Shenton goes down looking. Stretch time here at White House Field as the Gatemen lead it 6-1 in the home of the Mariners. As we are going to be joined in just a second by our own Mary Orders, who's getting to catch up now with Don Snedden. In just a second here as she gets Coach out of the dugout. Gatemen offense has been stagnant as of late. Hoping that the bullpen can hold on to a 5-run lead. Mary going to get some in-game insight from Coach Snedden. Mary, what do you got for us?
Thanks, guys. So, Coach, Derek West went 4+ innings. What do you like out of his outing?
Again, he didn't have good stuff, and we've talked many times before that you have to win when you don't have good stuff, and his fastball really was not locating well, and velocity seemed to not overpower these guys. But he battled and, kept it to a game where we moved out ahead, and he kept them from getting big innings.
And the team has gotten quite a few, or has gotten 6 runs to be exact, but has left a lot of base runners as well. What can you speak?
Well, you don't like to see that. This game can change in a minute on there. 6 is not enough. And you can see they've left a couple in there too, but we had the bases loaded, no outs, and we end up getting nothing. We strike out 3 times. Remind me of that game against Hyannis, the same thing happened on that. So we have to be better about putting balls in place and making productive outs. I've been singing that song all summer, and so far they just can't remember the lyrics.
Coach, thanks so much. Guys, back to you. Thank you.
Welcome back. Thank you, Mary. As you see, said Don Snedden, West, his stuff was good enough, it seemed like was the general message. But fact of the matter is, the Gatemen do lead it 5-1, or 6-1, they lead it by 5. As the offense has taken advantage of some unlucky hops in the field, some poor command shown by Austin Wood despite the 8 strikeouts. He did have 4 walks and hit Luke Roscom as well. Swinging a miss on a high fastball out of the hand of Kaiser, still out there for Wareham. But the 11 base runners left on base, they have left the bases loaded 3 times. Like he said, don't like to see that. He's been singing the song all summer. Can't remember the lyrics. I like that, as that is put beautifully by Coach Snedden. But bouncing back here to Gabe Rivera, who has a pair of walks on the day, is Tyler Kaiser. He's got him 0-2 very quickly here. That one outside, 1-2. Kaiser 3 strikeouts and 2 hits, no walks for the former Eastern Florida State Junior College product. Now headed to Miami next year. Swinging a high fly ball. This one ranging foul. Converging on it, 3 infielders. Lyle Lockhart off his glove. That's going to stay in play. Racing over to the bag to try to tag him. No success there, though, as that one was shot 1.5 miles high. Lyle Lockhart not able to get a great beat on it. Tipped off his glove. Landed in fair play. Tough one there. We'll see how they score, and they will score that an error for the Gatemen. E3 for those of you keeping score at home. Now Ben Norman will bat with 1 on and nobody out. You've gotten word that this will in fact be Tyler Kaiser's last inning of work. So trying to make it a clean one before handing things off in the 8th and 9th to whoever comes out of the bullpen. Rivera reaches on the miscue. Ben Norman going to try to drive him in. 1 for 3 for the Hawkeye. Waves and misses at a pitch at the shoulders. You can see frustrated with himself. Shook his head as he chased that one out of the zone. 1 on, nobody out, still 6-1 Gatemen here on the Gatemen Baseball Network. 6 runs, 6 hits, an error for Wareham. 1 run, 5 hits, 1 error for Harwich. That one low. Roscom tried to frame it, but a little bit of an egregious effort there. Puts it at 2-1 to Norman. Middle infield double play depth for Wareham. Tyler Kaiser whacks his left foot twice, trying to get some dirt off it. Does so successfully in the 2-1. What a frame by Roscom, 2-2. Fastball right at the knees. And across the plate to get enough of the zone to get a call from the home plate umpire. Roscom put it back where it crossed in front of the plate, as that's all that matters, obviously. With 1 on and nobody out, the 2-2. In the dirt, full count. Ben Norman, $1.94 on the year out of Des Moines, Iowa. Riding a 2-game hit streak, though. That one right at the knees. Got him looking. Down on strikes is Ben Norman. 4th strikeout of the day for Tyler Kaiser. That one has all of his today. Have been brought to you by the law offices of Lang, Safaris, and Bullard. 1 on, 1 away for Aaron Shunk. 0 for 4, robbed of a base hit by Sahid Valenzuela as he hit the last one shallow into right field, and coming in on it was Goldfarb, and he could not see it from the get-go. He's battling with the lights over behind the third base line. So Luke Roscom's going to call time to talk to his pitcher. Goldfarb threw up his hands immediately, saying, I can't see it, I can't see it. And Sahid Valenzuela, out of nowhere, scuttled into shallow right field and made an amazing over-his-head catch to save probably a run, maybe 2, and register what was then the second out of the 5th inning that saw the first 2 men reach in Mason Meadows, and Gabe Rivera, a double and a walk. From the bottom of the 7th now, as that one is chopped foul. It is the all-star Aaron Shunk trying to get Gabe Rivera over to second, maybe more. Andre Lipsius waits on deck. Righty on righty, the 1-1. Kaiser deals. Fastball outside, snap throw back down to first. Just in there safely is Gabe Rivera. Luke Roscom, despite being a bigger kid, cat-like agility behind the plate for the Nebraska Cornhusker. Aaron Shunk searching for his first hit of the day. Himself riding a little 2-game hit streak. 2-1 cut and misses at a fastball at the shoulders, 2-2. Or excuse me, strike 3. My apologies. Another strikeout for Tyler Kaiser. The scoreboard read 2-1, and I trusted it instead of keeping count by myself. My apologies. 5th one of the day, back-to-back now for Tyler Kaiser. 4 straight strikeouts as far as how the Mariners have gone down the last 4 times. That one brought to you by Lang, Safaris, and Bullard. And is on his way to striking out the side here. Strike at the knees to Andre Lipsius. Gabe Rivera still at first. Lipsius 0 for 3. I think the fact that Shunk and Lipsius have been silent all day offensively, and the strike is delivered at the knees, 0-2. For Harwich, the big reason that the Gatemen are out in front by so much. 6 runs through 7 innings. That is a lot, but not a crazy amount. But Harwich with just 1 run on 5 hits. That one up and in, 1-2. Meanwhile, Nate Eichhoff who waits on deck, quietly having a very good game. 2 for 3, single, double, and a run scored. Swinging a chop foul. Went and got that one. That is a defensive swing if I've ever seen one. Went and chased the changeup low. Waiting on the 2-strike offering. Kaiser sets. The pitch. Rung him up on the inside corner. See you later. Tyler Kaiser strikes out the side. That one brought to you by Lang, Exafaris, and Bullard, of course, the official strikeout sponsor of your Wareham Gatemen. After the error by Lyle Lockhart, Tyler Kaiser backs him up. 3 straight Ks. We go to the top of the 8th inning here from White House Field. 6-1 Gatemen on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
The Gatemen would like to thank Wareham Country Market for helping to feed the Gatemen players and staff after games. They are located about a quarter of a mile from the field on Route 6, offering a convenience store, a Dunkin' Donuts, and a deli.
Got legal trouble? Attorney Mark Deshays is here to help the greater New Bedford area with real estate and business law, estate planning, and probate. Visit him today.
Get Gatemen gear. Check out the latest styles and colors of your favorite Gatemen apparel. Also in stock, a large selection of Cape League items, including tickets to the All-Star Game. Test your pitching speed and pick up a souvenir ball, all at our merchandise booth.
Welcome back to White House Field. Welcome back to White House Field. It is Andre Lipsius on the bump. Position players pitching here for Harwich, a vaunted pitching staff through and through, to be sure. But Lipsius, a position player, he is getting his first pitching appearance of the summer. As I am not sure if the Mariners have just given up. You hate to throw that word around, even though the Gatemen do just have 6 outs to go here. But that'll throw some defensive changes in as well. Logan Driscoll moves from the DH spot to left. Eichhoff moves to third from left. And so Lipsius probably batting in that pitcher DH spot. We might see with a little more clarity what happens to the rest of the lineup when the lineup card flips over. Lipsius, who was riding a 6-game hit streak with 3 multi-hit games, delivers strike one to Jeremy Idens. Nice breaking ball, but misses low, 1-1. Like I said, Driscoll from DH to left, Eichhoff from left to first, So back to his position as that one is dribbled over to shortstop across the diamond. Nice pick by Eichhoff. Tanner Morris to Eichhoff to retire Idens, 6-3 for those of you keeping score at home. Lipsius gets weak contact, and now Pavin Parks will bat. He is 1 for 4. So it's still Shunk over there at third base. My apologies, I was listening to the PA. And when I thought I heard third, in fact I did hear, or when I thought I heard first, I did in fact hear third. Now a guy who's played third base occasionally, but today a DH for the Gatemen. Pavin Parks at the plate, takes strike one. Batting from the left side, the Kent State Golden Flash. Oh, 1 breaking ball, just misses upstairs, 1-1. Jacob Goldfarb waits on deck, 2 for 4 for him. Great day at the plate. 1-1, oof. Off Meadows behind the dish, doesn't seem to be too shaken up. Waves his glove hand a couple of times, tries to shake that one off. Now Parks should kind of fouled it right off. The Harwich catcher's glove gets a pat on the back from the home plate umpire. Base is empty, 1 out. A 1-2 count to the Gatemen designated hitter. Parks has power, but has not produced a ton of it so far. Trying to bust out of it here. Breaking ball misses way up and away, 2-2. Andre Lipsius, like I said, the shortstop, then first baseman, and now pitcher. Fastball hammered high and shallow into left field. Converging out of Morris and Shunk. And Morris makes the catch as he falls on his bottom in shallow left field, but does hold on to it for out number 2. Goldfarb 2 for 4 on the day. Like I mentioned, he steps up to the plate here with the bases empty and 2 out. Gatemen lead it by 5, but like Don Sneddon told our Mary Orders in the 7th inning, 6 runs are not enough in this league. So you'd hate to see the Gatemen start to coast here, especially against a guy like Lipsius who hasn't pitched all year. There's a great opportunity for the Gatemen to try to get a couple runs across with some weak contact off the first 2 bats in Idens and Parks. Goldfarb trying to buck the trend, and if nothing else, pad his own numbers. 1-0 shot. Fair ball down the first base line. Eichhoff will take it himself. 3 unassisted on the putout, and the Gatemen go down 1-2-3. Andre Lipsius gets the job done. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning here from his home field, White House, when we come back on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Gatemen Baseball is officially sponsored by Robertson's GMC, the truck professionals, located on Cranberry Highway in Wareham. We are proud to sponsor the Gatemen Youth Clinic for 2018. Robertson's GMC. We are professional grade. Power like a pro.
Soft as a Grape has 10 retail locations on Cape Cod, so even when you're cheering on your Gatemen at any away games, stop into a Soft as a Grape store for the best Cape Cod products. Stores located in Falmouth, Mashpee, Woods Hole, Hyannis, Chatham, Provincetown, Edgartown, Oak Bluffs, and Vineyard Haven. From beach day to every day, Soft as a Grape has you covered.
The law firm of Lang, Exafaris & Bullard, providing families and businesses in the greater New Bedford community with legal services for 40 years. We look forward to serving you. For an appointment, call 508-992-1270. We invite you to learn more about the law firm of Lang, Exafaris & Bullard by visiting our website, lxblaw.com.
Here at White House Field, the score is 6-1. Gateman Andre Lipsius, position player in his first pitching appearance. Got the Gatemen to go 1-2-3, the heart of the order. 4-5-6. A bounce out, a fly out, and another bounce out. And now another guy who we've seen play both sides of things, Cody Carroll, comes in, the right-hander out of Southern Miss, for Tyler Kaiser. We knew it was Tyler Kaiser's last inning of work, but it was 3 good ones for him, 6 strikeouts, 2 hits, no runs, no walks, no nothing else. So the Eastern Florida State Junior College to Miami product does his job, and now it is the opportunity here for Cody Carroll. Nice low leverage situation for him. Gatemen lead at 5-1, like I said, in the bottom of the 8th.
And Carroll is a guy I like out of the back end of the bullpen because he has some really nasty stuff, especially that slider that he features a lot. And if that's going, that can be a lethal pitch and should be one of those high leverage guys if he can get that going.
No, he's kind of lived and died by that slider. I agree. Delivers strike one on the outside corner to Nate Eichhoff, who has gone from first to left, back to first. Here for the Mariners today. No, but I hear you. I mean, he has the potential to be a really good late inning, 8th inning setup guy. And that is what his role seems to be right here. If he gets through the 8th in order and, the Mariners don't scratch across too many runs, 5-run lead in the 9th, why not? Let him go 2.
And we've seen Carroll with that situation of sending him out for 2 in a 1-run game as well, so certainly the confidence should be there.
That one is skied foul. Looks like a pinch hitter on deck for the Harwich Mariners. Jordan Green out of Clemson. Right-handed bat. Taking some hacks in the on-deck circle. If so, he will sub in. Probably direct switch as the infielder from Clemson will sub in the spot of Danny Casals playing second base today. The 1-2. Broken bat, shot it over to first, weakly hit. Lockhart's going to take it himself and step on first for out number 1. And it will, in fact, be Jordan Green who steps in. Batting 100 on the year. Bud has only been on the team since July 4th. 1 hit on the season for the rising senior from Clemson. That came in a 4-1 loss to Katuitt back on July 8th. Since then, and until then, was hitless. Does have 2 runs scored on the year, though. Originally from Fort Mill, South Carolina. 5'8", 170. Not a big kid. From the windup, Carroll with the bases empty and 1 out. Swinging a tap off the bat and then off the helmet of Luke Roskam. Might have gotten a piece of our crowd mic, or at least gotten close to it as you heard a thud.
Certainly sounded like it, huh?
Yeah. Oh, 0-1 to Green, looking for his second Cape League base hit. Danny Casals, the man whose lineup spot he is hitting in his day is done. 0 for 3 with a strikeout. The 0-1. Took a little something off it, but did not get the call. Looked like north-southwise it was okay, so I think I might have missed inside. My depth perception not fantastic, which is part of the reason why I'm broadcasting baseball games and not playing them, but it's a story for another time. 1-1 from the windup is Carroll. Swing and a miss. That one bounced about a foot in front of the plate. Green had no shot at that one, 1-2. Carroll now set. With 1 out, the 1-2. Rung him up at the letters, took a little something off it for strike 3. First K of the day for him. And make that a total of 12 strikeouts for Gatemen pitching on the day. It has been a little bit of a bigger zone, but man, oh man, have the Gatemen taken advantage of it. 2 away, bases empty for Tanner Morris.
The little used changeup there by Cody Carroll. We talked about the slider. It's pretty good movement on his fastball too, but drops one that Jordan Green can't be expecting and no one in the Harwich lineup can be expecting because it's used so rarely, but gets it on the top of the strike zone there for the called strike 3.
1-0 now to Morris. 1 for 2 with a single and an RBI. Ground out, short but productive day in the offensive lineup for him. That one hammered down the third base line, but foul.
It's been a bit of a long one here at White House Field tonight, but us interns, broadcasters, getting treated to a little bit of pizza tonight. Big thank you goes out to Irene Idens, mother of Jeremy Idens, for providing that for us. We've had the pleasure of meeting her this week. She has been all around our broadcast booths listening in, and obviously you've seen Jeremy on some interviews that we've done. A class act kid, and you can see why. Lovely lady that treats us with a little bit of pizza tonight.
Clearly comes from a great family, absolutely. I've got my Domino's slice sitting in front of me, much needed here. Like you said, Cam, a bit of a drawn-out affair, but a good one for the Gatemen as they do lead at 6-1. That one outside as Cal goes to 2-2 on Tanner Morris.
It's going to be a late one, and there's not much open around Wareham by the time we'll be getting home. So
no, there is not.
This
Short
is
of McDonald's.
This is key, which I know you like.
I adore
I know.
McDonald's.
That's no problem for you.
That one shot high into right field, going back on a Goldfarb, picks a spot, and reaches up and makes the catch just a couple feet shy of the warning track. 4 out, number 3. That'll do it in the 8th. To the top of the 9th we go. Gatemen last chance to add to a lead, 6-1 at White House Field on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Learning at Curry College extends beyond the classroom and is embedded in all that they do. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers and active citizenship with a global perspective. Explore undergraduate majors, minors, and concentrations, including new majors in accounting, biochemistry, and software development, online at www.curry.edu.
Beat the heat and join us at Waterways, a water experience unlike any other this side of the bridge. Open daily, head over to the water park on Route 28, the Cranberry Highway.
Folks, after the game, be sure to visit El Mariachi on Main Street for the best Mexican food in Wareham. The cantina provides a delicious late-night snack accompanied by fun cocktails.
Welcome back to White House Field, 6-1 Gatemen on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Jordan Green has moved over to second base in the place of Danny Casals, taking over his spot on the offensive and defensive side of things. Andre Lipsy is still out there for his second inning of work on the entire summer. He'll face a different part of the Gatemen order this time around, though. Lyle Lockhart Jr., followed by Ryan Kreidler and Luke Roscom. Lockhart was robbed of a bloop single in the 6th inning, as I finally figure out how to read the numbers on my scorebook. My handwriting is absolutely abysmal, and I sometimes pay the price for it. 1-0, he does take that one outside, search for his first hit of the day. Does have a walk and a run scored today, though. Shoots that one foul. Ryan Kreidler on deck, 1 for 3 with an RBI single. Has also walked today.
I like talking about these pitchers' hometowns, but guys like Andre Lipsius make it too easy. Williamsburg, Virginia.
Too easy, you're right.
Too much. Too much. One of the most historic towns in these whole United States.
1-1 swing and a miss. Lockhart way out ahead of the changeup there, 1-2.
But for those of you who don't know, and I like to hear myself talk, it's the home of the College of William and Mary, the second university in this entire country. Also the hometown of Kanan Smith, country music star, as well as the greatest defensive football player of all time, Lawrence Taylor.
Some big names coming out of Williamsburg and Lipsius. He's done it all with on the offensive side of things, and now gets a swing and a miss from Lockhart. First strikeout of the day on the Cape. Has retired 4 straight Gatemen since coming on the bump in the 8th. Really impressive stuff for him.
He certainly has proven that he can be relied upon out there. A little bit of deception from a guy who doesn't pitch much, and the first couple of pitches we've seen from him in this outing last inning, he looked like a position player on the mound.
Oh, yeah.
But he is doing something right now.
Well, he's just locating. I mean, and while the Gatemen hitters, I mean, you know, I think if they go down 1-2-3 here, maybe a bit concerning, or maybe just the fact that Lipsius maybe does have better stuff than we think. But he's locating well. His fastball's got some zip to it, and he's got a couple pitches in his arsenal, clearly. But if you throw strikes, good things are going to happen. That one weakly hit inside part of the bat. Dribbler over to Green over at second. And a 4-3 putout makes it 5 in a row retired by Lipsius. Gatemen one more out to work with here in the top of the 9th. Luke Roscom will bat. 0 for 2. Was hit by a pitch in the second, walked in the fourth, also scored. Struck out in the sixth. First pitch to him. Spins out of the way of that one. 1-0 on the inside corner. Luke Roscom out of Chaska, Minnesota. Playing his ball at Nebraska. Cam, why don't you tell us a little bit about Chaska after this pitch? Swing and a miss, 1-1.
Nah, nothing too much to write home about. Chris Humphreys from there.
Okay.
Of the famed Kardashian family. Not for an NBA basketball career.
No.
Jerry Kuzman, two-time All-Star for the New York Mets, champion of the Miracle Mets 1969.
Breaking pitch on that one. Luke Roscom, a halfway swing, finds himself 1-2 with 2 outs and the bases empty.
Howie Schultz,
okay.
2 sports star, both with the Brooklyn Dodgers and Minneapolis Lakers. Shows you the age there.
Yeah, seriously. 1-2 in the dirt, 2-2.
Yeah, that's about it.
Okay. Played his summer baseball in Minnesota as well last year for the Duluth Huskies of the Northwoods League, along with teammate Isaac Collins. The 2-2. Inside 3-2. Roscom has worked his count. Something that he is known to do. Despite the volume of strikeouts, he can really work a count. Put himself on base kind of any which way. Hammers that one into right field. Going to get down for a base hit. Fair ball. Chugging around first. He's going to head for second. Throw will not come in nearly in time. From Rivera out in right. 2-out double for Luke Roscom. This is the kind of power that we want to see from this kid going forward.
That certainly is. That tailors to the swing. That low inside pitch that lefties feast on. He's got that long swing. We talked about it earlier. Great for pull power. And he's a bit out in front of this one, but still, that swing is so good for him to keep it down that right field line and all the way to the wall.
Skylar Hunter will try to drive him in. He's 1 for 3. Single walk, strikeout, and a run scored. Beat out an infield single back in the fourth. Came around to score on the Jeremy Idens RBI single.
And you know what, Henrique? I'm not ready to close the book on Chaska because it has come to my attention via my sources. I don't know if you're a Johnny Cash fan. I am a huge Johnny Cash fan.
I wouldn't call myself a fan just because I haven't listened to enough of his stuff, but definitely an appreciator, absolutely.
So I'm a huge fan.
Okay.
And the song, wait for this.
That one is bounced over to the shortstop Morris across the diamond. Bang, bang play, but got Morris at the first base bag. So we will wait to hear more about Johnny Cash's connection to Chaska, Minnesota when we come back in the bottom of the ninth. And Harwich tries to make a last stand. They do trail it by 5, though, on their home turf here on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Since 1950, Morse Insurance has consistently offered the best insurance at competitive rates to generations of clients in southern Massachusetts. If you're frustrated with paying for what essentially feels like just a piece of paper, it's time for you to check out the one-of-a-kind client experience that only Morse Insurance can deliver.
Mezzaluna is a family-run Italian restaurant celebrating 80 years in business. Located on Main Street in Buzzards Bay, Mezzaluna specializes in Italian cuisine, a lunch menu that's the best deal in town, and serves Cape Cod's famous prime rib every Wednesday and Saturday. Come enjoy the feast at Mezzaluna, the Italian family restaurant.
Village Signs of Mattapoisett. They do it all, from logo design, trucks and buildings to boats. Village Signs has proudly served southern New England for over 35 years. Visit them at villagesigns.inc.com for all your signage needs.
Welcome back to White House Field in Harwich. Home team trail at 6-1, looking for a comeback here in the bottom of the ninth. They will face 7-8-9 Logan Driscoll, former designated hitter, now left fielder, followed by Mason Meadows and Gabe Rivera for the Mariners. Cody Carroll still on the hill. My apologies, had to sneeze. I couldn't exactly hold it in. And a piece of information I don't think Cam Stewart can hold in is the connection of Johnny Cash to Chaska, Minnesota.
It's got Luke Roscom written all over it.
Well, this I want to hear.
The song I've Been Everywhere. If you know it, he lists all the towns and places he's been.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point he says Chaska, Nebraska, Alaska. So
I love it.
He's just got that Luke Roscom connection there.
If Luke Roscom had played his summer league ball in the Alaskan League, that would have been
unbelievable.
That would have been a full circle moment. Universe at work there. Would have been pretty cool. But it's funny. Another, I guess, something I didn't know. Bob Dylan from Duluth, Minnesota. Another old school artist from up in the Great White North, as I like to call it.
Yes, sir. Duluth area, Hibbing, Minnesota. Same hometown as Kevin McHale, if you can believe it.
I can now.
That's what I do. I make people believe.
That one dribbled foul 0-1.
And I know most of you won't believe me, but as soon as I saw that Logan Driscoll, our man at the plate right now, is from Burke, Virginia, one thought popped into my head, and that's maybe the greatest U.S. women's soccer player ever, Mia Hamm.
Also from
Burke,
there.
Virginia. Yeah.
Wow.
Double-checked it.
Okay.
I'm a journo. I use my sources.
You're a journo.
Big J.
Big J stuff only. Here from Baylor Northwestern and Syracuse on the broadcast team for you. That one fouled off 0-2.
This is what I do. I don't give analysis. I just give facts you'll never be able to use.
Which in and of itself has some value, I guess.
I mean,
trivia?
Who knows? Maybe I turn someone on to Johnny Cash now.
Which is a definite, that's an objectively good thing.
That is a very good thing.
0-2 to Driscoll. Skies this one into shallow center field. Converging on at Hunter, Kreidler, and Valenzuela. And it is Valenzuela who catches his second very high pop-up of the day. One away here in the ninth. Mason Meadows will bat now. 1 for 2, double and a pair of strikeouts. Gabe Rivera will be Mariners' last chance if Cody Carroll has his way with Mason Meadows. Carroll came on in the middle of the year, a couple weeks into the season. Since then has had a little bit of an up and down year in the back end of the bullpen. Like you said, Cam, really the guy who really has a high ceiling, especially with that slider. We've seen it be as good as it can be. It truly is a devastating pitch.
It really is, and that's the kind of stuff you like out of your 8th, 9th inning guys. Obviously, this is not really a safe situation.
That one grounded over to Shenton over at third across the diamond. He goes 5-3 put out, and now it indeed will be Gabe Rivera, the last chance for the Harwich Mariners. They trail by 5 in the bottom of the 9th inning.
But just to finish that thought, that's obviously the nasty stuff you want. He's got a good fastball, too. Not something too overpowering, not high 90s or anything like that, but good enough that when that slider is lethal, I mean, he's absolutely unhittable because he can change speeds, change eye levels so well between fastball and the breaking ball.
Swing and a miss on that one. Rivera out of Miami wearing the hurricane green sleeves, or at least one sleeve, on his right arm. Fouls it off, like I said, 0-1. Waves the bat. Waiting on the offering from Carroll. He gets it and slaps it one hard into center field. Skylar Hunter will go back on it. He won't get it. That'll roll all the way to the wall. Going to be extra bases for Rivera. He might try for 3. Yes, indeed, he will. The throw comes in, not in time. A 2-out triple for Gabe Rivera. And the Mariners have some life yet. My goodness, he hit that one on a frozen rope over the head of Skylar Hunter. Not even anything he could do about it.
Yeah, that thing was absolutely smoked to center field. Hunter's first step was in, so didn't really read it too well off the bat, but he wasn't going to get to this one anyway.
No.
Not only does it get over his head, but rolling harmlessly all the way to the wall. A long run for Skylar Hunter to have to go over there and get it. No chance to keep him at second base. And Rivera is one of the slowest guys on this team, so it would have been interesting to see if a guy like this, Ben Norman, were up there.
Norman will get his crack at Cody Carroll. Takes ball 1, though, here, 1-0. 1 for 4 on the day, single pair of strikeouts as well. From the windup, Carroll deals. In the dirt, 2-0. Gatemen trying to keep their distance from Falmouth, who is nipping at their heels just 4 points behind them. Actually, now as it stands, 2 points behind them. But Wareham with a win today could put a little more distance between them and, more importantly, come within 1 point of the Harbor Hawks. As they lost to Katuitt 7-2, strike at the knees 2-1. Gatemen trying to push it to 19-13-1 on the year. YD, the first team on the Cape to reach the 20-win plateau, as they took care of Bourne 8-2 today. Swing and a miss on that one, 2-2. And Harwich, if things hold here, will fall to 14-18-2. Will still hold on to third place in the East Division. Runner on third, that's Gabe Rivera, Ben Norman up at the plate. The 2-2. Swing and a tip into the glove of Luke Roscom. That'll do it. Strikeout number two, for Cody Carroll. My apologies, I'm tripping over myself here. And the Gatemen walk away winners here from White House. 6-1 your final. Great pitching performance from Derek West. Harwich offense pretty hapless in the beginning parts of this game. They strand 9 runners on base. Wareham, despite a great offensive performance, did strand 12 runners at the plate, left them loaded 3 times, 2nd, 4th, and 5th inning. 12 runners left on base. But Austin Wood, despite a great pitching performance, in some respects it really wasn't. For some free passes given up, and the Gatemen took advantage of them and rode it to a 6-1 victory, despite their last runs coming all the way back in the 4th inning.
It was a bit of a weird night for Austin Wood, like you mentioned. Didn't exactly electrify, except for 7 straight strikeouts, 8 overall. I mean, that's pretty impressive. You know, you're not going to see that much anytime in any level of baseball, let alone a league as good as this one. But he just had it working for that little spurt, but some hiccups before that, some hiccups after that led to him being taken out, and it was just a bizarre night. I mean, his stuff was there for only about 2 innings, but outside of that, the Gatemen were hitting him, and they were hitting him hard. There was no cheap hits off of Austin Wood, the starter.
Tyler Kaiser, a solid outing for him. He's back to his usual ways. 3 innings of work, 2 hits, no earned runs, no walks, 6 strikeouts. Vintage out of the hand of Kaiser. Much needed bullpen arm back to its full form. Here's the Gatemen finish up their last 10 games of the season and go into the playoffs. More just depends what seed they will get, as the West Division is crowded, but really don't see the Gatemen falling all the way to last place here. It's Katuitt and Bourne battle for that bottom spot. Gatemen pick up their 19th win of the year. Harwich drops down to 14-18-2. That'll do it for myself and Cam Stewart. Over to JD Rachi we go on the Gatemen Postgame Show.
Thank you very much, Enrique. And sorry for the technical difficulties, folks, but we are here with the Gatemen Postgame Show. J.D. Rashi finishing things up here from White House Field. A 6-1 win for the Gatemen over the Harwich Mariners. They win the season series 3-1. Split the series here, 1 game apiece, and both wins at Spillane Field, going the way of the Wareham Gatemen, both in walk-off fashion. One 4-3 early in the season, the last one 7-6 just a couple of days ago. So this series goes the way of the Gatemen, and really the division is now starting to shift back toward the Gatemen's favor after 2 losses yesterday that had them 3 points back, a loss for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks today, and a win for the Gatemen has the Gatemen just 1 point back now of the division-leading Harbor Hawks. So things are starting to go in the right direction for the Gatemen, and the pitching staff was really the standout of the day today for Wareham. Derek West got it started on the mound, went 4+ innings, 3 hits, a run, 5 Ks. Dueled with Austin Wood, as Enrique and Cam mentioned, who had it, and when he had it, it was really, really good. 7 straight strikeouts and 8 Ks overall. He just ended up losing it, and then the bullpen, Tyler Kaiser, was absolutely magnificent. 3 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 6 strikeouts for the guy that will be headed off to the University of Miami in Coral Gables, Florida next season. And then Cody Carroll out of the bullpen to back it up. No save for him, as it was a 5-run game when he came into the game. It was a 5-run game when he left. 2 innings, 1 hit, no runs, and 2 strikeouts for the Southern Miss Golden Eagle. And he's not the only Golden Eagle who had a good day today. If you were listening in the 6th inning, I told you that Matt Wallner out of Minnesota and Southern Miss had 2 home runs today for the Falmouth Commodores as they continue to surge. A guy that Luke Roscom and Isaac Collins both played against growing up. So the Minnesota boys showing out today. Collins did not get the start today, but Luke Roscom had himself a pretty nice night at the plate, 1 for 3 with a run scored. Other guys that show out on the stat sheet for the Gatemen, how about Jacob Goldfarb, the only multi-hit game of the day? He went 2 for 5 with a run. And then everybody but Lyle Lockhart picked up a hit in this game. Valenzuela, Shenton, Idens, all with nice days as usual. Nothing new for the All-Stars for the Gatemen. We talked about how the bullpen and how the pitching staff was the crux of this win, how they really kept it together, and one of them will be our player of the game. Keep it locked right here as we take a break here on the Gatemen Baseball Network to find out who it is when we come back on the GBN.
Northeast Maritime Institute's College of Maritime Science is a proud sponsor of the Wareham Gatemen. If you're looking for a career at sea, look to NMI's program of education, adventure, and employment on northeastmaritime.com, America's premier 2-year maritime college.
Village Signs of Mattapoisett. They do it all, from logo design, trucks and buildings to boats. Village Signs has proudly served southern New England for over 35 years. Visit them at villagesigns.inc.com for all your signage needs.
Legacy Insurance Agency at 213 Main Street here in Wareham can offer you coverage for all your insurance needs. We have the bundle discounts, the accident forgiveness, the vanishing deductible, no loss, etc. But unlike those other gimmick companies, we can quote you with multiple carriers. So forget the lizard and the price tool and come talk to a professional. We'll help you find what's right for you.
Located in Wareham Crossing, Coastal Orthodontics, longtime sponsor of the Wareham Gatemen, knows the importance of a healthy smile. Dr. Kevin Oliveira and his team at Coastal Orthodontics are a patient-focused practice, delivering professional, effective orthodontic treatment based on the individual clinical needs of each patient, resulting in beautiful smiles in a timely manner. With 10 years of experience using Invisalign, Coastal Orthodontics uses the most up-to-date dental equipment. Wareham House of Pizza has been serving Wareham and Marion for over 40 years with steak and cheese, pizza, and subs. Located in Shaw's Plaza, head on over for pickup or let them deliver to you. At the intersection of Route 195 and 28, Wareham Crossing, home of Lowe's, Target, and Red Robin, is the sponsor of the Gatemen Intern Program. They help to provide a world-class internship experience in broadcasting, marketing, sports management, and baseball operations. Check out Wareham Crossing's schedule for this year's Summer Movie Night Series.
Founded in 1854, the Wareham-based AD Makepeace Company is the world's largest cranberry grower and private property owner in eastern Massachusetts. The company supports organizations like the Wareham Gatemen and projects like the outdoor cranberry bog classroom that you may have passed on your way in. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more. Shop from home year-round on Gatemen.org. You can customize your Gatemen gear from any device, anywhere. We offer a large selection of apparel and unique gifts 24/7, 365. Hard to find sizes, colors, and styles. Youth Clinic registration is also available. Visit us today and remember us for holiday gifts at Gatemen.org.
Stop by the Ansel S. Gurney House, where you will find a unique shopping and dining experience. Whether shopping for a
child up today for the Gatemen Robertson's GMC Youth Clinics. This year we have 5 one-week sessions.
Located along the Cape Cod Canal, Keystone Place at Buzzards Bay is the area's newest rental independent living, assisted living, and memory care community. With some of the area's largest apartments and an ultra-inclusive monthly service package, Keystone Place is a life-fulfilling retirement community unlike any other. Distinct assisted living and memory care programs provide personal care services according to each individual's needs. Discover Keystone Place, the best option for meeting the care and support needs of seniors on Cape Cod.
The Gateway Tavern, located on Marion Road in Wareham, offers an extensive but not exhaustive array of menu choices. They search for the finest in foods, ranging from garden fresh produce to hand-selected seafood, and have special menus that change daily. The Gateway Tavern is proud to be the official helmet of the Wareham Gatemen.
One of the area's best restaurants is located right up the street, Brewfish Bar and Eatery. Brewfish offers 20 rotating craft beers on tap and creative pub food. Check out their off-the-menu brunch with a Bloody Mary bar and $5 mimosas on Sundays. Join us for outdoor dining and drinks under the tent, or for live music every weekend, located on Route 105 in Marion.
South Coast Health, operators of Charlton Memorial Hospital, St. Luke's Hospital, and Toby Hospital, delivers an unmatched combination of clinical excellence with a personal touch. They are proud to serve as southeastern Massachusetts and Rhode Island's only not-for-profit health system, as well as the region's largest employer. South Coast Health, the best care plus something more.
The Gatemen wish to thank Patty Wild and the trustees of the John Wild Charitable Trust for their continued support of Gatemen Baseball in Wareham.
Head on over to BB's Bar and Grill for food, drinks, and fun. Located just off Cranberry Highway, come in to sample the scrumptious fare or relax with a drink.
Middleborough, Massachusetts. TM Riders' goal is to find the best coverage at a fair rate for their customers, but they really value giving the best service they can provide. Visit the office on Thatcher's Row if you would like P&C insurance information, quotes, and policies.
The 2018 Cape League All-Star Game will be played at White House Field in Harwich Sunday, July 22nd. Game time is 6 p.m., gates open at 2. One highlight will be the Cumberland Farms home run hitting contest. There will also be an autograph session and a large merchandise village with items from many of the teams. Support the Gatemen in part by purchasing your ticket right now at the merchandise booth. Tickets are just $5.
Wrapping things up on the Gatemen Postgame Show, a 6-1 win for the Wareham Gatemen over the Harwich Mariners tonight at White House Field. We're now joined by our player of the game this evening, relief pitcher Tyler Kaiser. Tyler, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
3 innings, 2 hits, 6 Ks tonight. Probably your best outing in a while. What worked for you?
I was just getting ahead of hitters. This is my 3rd time facing that team. Get at them and then working in the split change as well.
There was a little bit of a lull in the season for you where you struggled through a couple of appearances, but the last 2 outings have been much, much better. What was the kind of thing that flipped the switch? What have you really worked on to improve yourself and get yourself back to where you were at the beginning of the season when you were so dominant?
I think what it comes down to is just me mentally preparing myself every day that I could possibly pitch, because I know there were a few times I wasn't excited. Even if they go and get a few hits on me, my mentality is just to go in and next batter, next pitch, and just forget about it, short memory.
And next season, you're headed off to the University of Miami in the ACC, one of the premier baseball schools in the country and one of the premier baseball conferences in the country after a couple of years at Eastern Florida State Junior College. How important is it for you, for your mindset moving forward, that you know you can compete against guys at this level that the Cape League provides? A lot of ACC guys, even one of your teammates next season, Gabe Rivera, in the lineup tonight. How much of a mental boost is that for you going into the season next year, that you know you can compete, you can strike these guys out?
Honestly, I don't think anything of it. Next year it's going to be a new year, and it's wood bats here. I think that's a big game changer, because what people can do with metal bats versus wood is a totally different ball game. So I'm just going to have to go out. I'm not going to expect anything of it. I'm going to go out next year and just work on pitching the metal bats again, 'cause it's a totally different ball game.
Harwich might have had the wooden bats tonight, but Tyler Kaiser had the heat. 3 innings, 2 hits, 6 strikeouts. He is our player of the game. Tyler Kaiser, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
A fantastic outing from Tyler Kaiser and a fantastic outing all around for the Gatemen tonight. Big bounce-back winners over the Harwich Mariners this evening at White House Field, the site of this year's All-Star Game, where 6 Gatemen will be performing, or 5, I should say, after Bryant Packard has gone home with an illness. 5 will be performing this Sunday at around 6 o'clock. It should be a fun one at the All-Star Game, but the Gatemen have a game tomorrow night, 6:30, a matchup with the Bourne Braves at Spillane Field. It'll be the second time that the Braves are headed to Spillane this season before they finish off the series with the Braves with a home-and-home at the end of the year. That game is scheduled for 6:30, and our pregame show will be up on YouTube on the Wareham Gatemen YouTube channel at 6 o'clock, as always. That'll do it for us here at White House Field in Harwich. We want to thank you for listening to this broadcast of Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network. The general manager of the Wareham Gatemen is Andrew Lang. The producer of today's broadcast is Trevor Russo. We want to thank our beat writer Ian Becerra and our sideline reporter Mary Orders, as well as the entire rest of the crew, including today's broadcasters Enrique DeMore and Cam Stewart. I'm J.D. Rachi saying so long from White House Field. Once again, the final score, a 6-1 win for the Gatemen over the Harwich Mariners. We will talk to you tomorrow night from Spillane.